Welcome to the APTA Grand Prix Tour presented by our national sponsors Viking and Uline. We are live at the Philadelphia Cricket Club on the APTA network presented by eNet Live. I'm Brad Easterbrook along with Mark Fischel bringing you the men's final round between the number 1 seeded players of Mark Parsons and Juan Arraya and the number 4 seeded team of Marek Czerwinski and Graham McNerney. Mark, why don't you introduce our players up there on the court?
So looking at the screen in the black on the deuce side is Marek Czerwinski. His partner is Graham McNerney in the white Viking fleece. On the far side of the net in the deuce court with the yellow paddle is Juan Arraya, and in the blue and gray hat is Mark Parsons. Brad, how do you see these two teams matching up?
Well, I think it's been a great tournament for both teams. You know, kind of Arraya and Parsons, a new partnership this year. They've obviously played against each other a whole bunch of times, and now they're teaming up. And it's been a good test for them. They've had some tough rounds, tough sets, and they're finding the way through it. Parsons played great in the last round, and Czerwinski and McNerney have great skill sets, spin overheads, attacking shots, you know, great drives, good volleys. It's just a question of their teamwork. So I feel like Arraya and Parsons are definitely working it out together as a team really well. And same with Czerwinski and McNerney as they come in here. I look forward to a great match here.
Okay, let's take a look at the player bios. So Marek Czerwinski is the racket professional at the Arraya Club in Illinois. Graham McNerney works for an accounting firm. Juan Arraya at the Country Club of Greenwich. And then Mark Parsons, the Siwanite Country Club in Bronxville, New York.
So 3 out of 4 are teaching professionals.
And Graham McNerney's worked really hard in his game over the last couple of years, and you're starting to see some of the fruits of that labor.
Yeah, you would have to say within the last couple of years, one of the most improved players on the tour for sure. You know,
it should be noted that he won last week. He and Scott Kaler beat Arraya and Jeff Morneau, and a win over Arraya is something to be cherished, because there are not a lot of guys that have that win.
Now you'll find McNerney, he is becoming, we talked about this a little during our semifinals, he's becoming a player who has a varied skill set. He can vary his way of playing. He's got a good attacking overhead, but he's learned to be kind of an alpha player and a number 2 player. You know, I think Czerwinski and McNerney is just about finding who and when they're taking the balls, you know, between the two of them. You know, how they're setting up the points.
Let's take a look at the draw to see how both teams got here. So you see that Czerwinski and McNerney came through 2 3-setters. Ironically enough, I think the Arraya Parsons draw is probably the tougher draw. They also had a real tough round of 16 match in Le Pavere and Watt, which we had the good fortune of seeing.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And I think the test has been really good for Arraya and Parsons. And Budish and Stojisavljevic just gave them a great run in the semifinal. Terrific semifinal match there.
Let's take a look at the Viking keys to victory before our umpire introduces the players.
You have to teach Juan and Mark how that works.
So for Czerwinski and McNerney, they just got to make smart transition decisions, as we've talked about, Brad. You can't get lured into that fast-paced style.
Yep, they got to handle Araya's overhead. The ability to defend and not get turned around those screens is so huge when you're playing against Juan Arraya.
Yeah, the only players that have beaten Arraya the last 5-6 years have been guys like Mark Powers, Mark Parsons, and Drew Broderick, who can really hurt you over there against that side wire. And one of my big concerns of the match for Czerwinski and McNerney is, can they do that? Because once Arraya starts spinning the ball with impunity over there, there are not a lot of answers. And the key to the last match was when they changed sides, and you had Roman Stojisavljevic with his forehand over there and took that shot away, similar to what Drew Broderick does.
No, absolutely. And one of the next big keys for Czerwinski and McNerney is to play within themselves. We talked a lot about, you know, the great thing of having tremendous talent, but it's a little bit of a curse too. If you can do everything, you have to choose it properly. So they need to play within themselves. That's
something Czerwinski really struggles with from time to time. Let's see what the keys to victory for Arraya Parsons. So let Parsons play. I think last match was the best match I've seen Mark Parsons play in 3 or 4 years.
He played great. He was on fire with that backhand. I don't think he missed a backhand return the whole match.
And you heard Arraya encouraging him and pushing him to do it.
Going to be 2 minutes between sets.
Right, they want to control the tempo out there.
And then obviously the big issue for Arraya always is to stay focused, because the talent is indisputable. It's the mental acuity that you really want to see from him.
Yeah, we'll find from time to time it'll go in waves from complete dominance to 3 or 4 bad errors. And when those bad errors creep in, that's where the other teams get back into the match.
There's so many matches when Araya's good, they win. When he's not so good, they don't win. In the last couple of years, he's found a way to get through some matches when not playing at his best. Where previously the whole wasn't as great as the sum of the parts, and now I think it's turning into the reverse.
We got 4 minutes total before we're done.
Now we've seen a very, bunch of different matches as we've watched throughout this tournament, from, Arraya and Parsons playing, I formation, 1 up, 1 back. The last couple have been a little more traditional in their style.
Yeah, I expect we're going to see that today also. I mean, the onus is going to be on Czerwinski and McNerney to find a way to deal with what Arraya and Parsons do so well. And that'll determine whether we have a competitive match, whether they could win, or whether we're just going to see another convincing Arraya-Parsons victory.
Yep. Well, I think right now, the big thing for Czerwinski and McNerney is I wonder if they have a plan or if they're just going out here and sort of feeling it out as they go into it.
I haven't seen too much of a plan from them beyond hit drives that your opponents can't handle. They can't drive.
Now, between the two of them, McNerney and Czerwinski, who do you think what's the biggest weapon on the court?
The Czerwinski forehand,
yeah,
unquestionably.
Sorry. In case you did, I'd write it down.
Yeah, McNerney has a good forehand. He dips it low, follows it in with blitzes, but it's not really a
I'd like the
thumper,
strategy,
so to speak, or a heavy ball.
We'd have some insight. All right.
A lot of chatter going on out there, Brad.
Right, enough for you. All right, I'm about to move into the streaming here.
Umpire giving us a 2-minute sign there for the warm-up. Tom Safford.
Welcome to the 2018 Philadelphia Open Men's Final. Lovely day in Philadelphia at the Philadelphia Cricket Club. On my left and serving first, Matic, Czerwinski, and Graham McNerney. And on my right, Juan Arraya and Mark Parsons. Arraya Parsons won the toss, elected to receive.
All right, so it looks like Czerwinski's going to take us out. He's in the all black on the bottom right of your screen right now. And I think, we always talk about transition decisions here because unlike most teams, that's what Arraya does to you. You think you're winning the point, and so you go forward as if you have the advantage, and all of a sudden you lose because you got Parsons behind him driving the ball low. Arraya comes forward, and his hands are exceptional. There's only a couple of guys who really can beat, Arraya in hand-to-hand combat up there. Powers has a shot at it, and Durant has a shot at it, but even those,
Drew Broderick.
Yep. But it's dangerous to mix that up with him, and it's dangerous. You have to be very aware of when you truly have an opportunity or not. I find that the best success people have had against Parsons and Arraya, I think the great formula from Bursch and Stojsavljevic was found last time when they were able to find, a person who could protect that ad court side wire and make it so that Arraya can't attack that. And then if you have that ability plus the ability to hit good lobs deep, keep them off the net, and then just take the right ball to right drive, a perfect recipe for good paddle.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how McNerney deals with that.
Yep, it's always a huge thing. The teams that give them a hard run are able to defend and get that lob back up there and stop him from attacking there.
I was thinking how clever it was of Arraya to pair up with one of the guys that could hurt him on that side wire. If he could start playing more tournaments with those guys, he might win them all.
There you go.
Get Drew Broderick to play a couple tournaments with him, or at least stay home.
All right, players are getting ready to come out there. It's been a great tournament, an interesting tournament. A lot of different teams out there. Beginning of the season, a lot of feeling out. Like you said before, we're missing our top 2 teams in this tournament. But still some great paddle and basically some coming outs for some new teams.
Yeah, top 2 teams from last year. Doesn't mean they're going to be the top 2 teams this year.
Fair point, Mark.
I think Arraya got some fashion tips from Wilkinson. How many colors do you count there, Brad?
You know, I'm having an episode. There's a lot of colors there.
Warm up.
I'm not even sure I can name what the colors are.
Switch after 7.
Okay, we'll be switching balls after 7 games. Looks like Graham McNerney will be starting. But there's a gleam in Mark Parsons' eye that I haven't seen in a while, Brad.
He played with some great fire last match.
He's having a lot of fun.
Yep.
He really sacrificed a lot of his game for the good of the team with Johan Durant, and I think that one of the things he's excited about this year is hitting a few more balls.
McNerney
Okay, here we
serve. Good match, gentlemen.
All right, they're actually having Graham McNerney serve first. Arraya almost exclusively letting the return of serve go to the screen this tournament. Not really driving off the deck very often.
No, he's very passive there. Those are not the overheads you want to hit.
Love
Yeah,
15.
there's 3 balls to the Parsons backhand. He nails all 3 of them.
Gotta be willing to play those soft, long points at those Jim Kaufman overheads down the middle of the court. Arraya Parsons handling the transition really well.
Oh, they're masters at transition. I mean, they didn't come in too fast that time. They waited to see what Czerwinski. They recognized that Parsons' ball went through the middle so hard that it's going to come back far. So, no percentage in running forward. And your opponent's going to hit an offensive drive at you.
And there's the play we saw from Arraya so well last year when he started playing the deuce court, was taking that backhand early, chipping it down and blitzing behind it. It's a lot of trouble to deal with.
Yeah, and he holds the ball so long. One of the best that you can't tell what he's going to do till the last second. He holds it there and he blocks it up as a lob 4 or 5 times first. And then so you get
30.
used to that. Then all of a sudden he punches it down low and he's right in behind it. It makes it very, very hard to anticipate what he's going to do. McNerney, great serve style for coming into the net. He brings his right leg forward as he comes in, gets him in quickly to the net for that first volley.
Ooh, Parsons with another big forehand.
Yeah, and you're saying Parsons with a big forehand. People talk only about his backhand, and I've always maintained for years his forehand's better than everybody thinks it is. Nice cutter at the body there.
15-30.
Oh. Yeah, his half volley is ridiculous up there.
15-40.
That's a volley McNerney's going to have to make to compete today.
A couple loose ones. He's got to open his face, get down a little. He's a bit of a straight up and down volleyer. That's a nice volley.
2 best one-handed backhands in the game here today, Brad?
I would think so. Yeah,
Although Jared Palmer might argue with that.
Palmer's got a, a great backhand also.
Oh.
Game
Parsons
Arraya
looks with
Parsons, they lead
amazement.
1-love.
Arraya
First
looks
set.
with amazement at Parsons. He was like hung out to dry, and Czerwinski missed it. Not a good game for the number 4 seeds to start the match.
Couple loose errors, I mean, and just not particularly, I wouldn't say, smart shots. 3 balls to the Parsons backhand high. I mean,
Hard overheads.
That can't be a recipe for success. So right now it's almost like feeling out, but they should already start going, okay, look, we got to hit the ball in these places here, keep it out of trouble.
Yeah, I didn't see much of a plan from them last night in their quarterfinal win over Anderson and Arraya. So I'm interested to see if it's something different today. It better be different than that first game was, otherwise it's not going to be here very long.
You don't see that often. We talked about the exchange being generally the
15.
domain for Arraya to win, but
Great play by McNerney there.
Unbelievable confidence, too, to get up there and mix it up. Great shot. Got to call that, Nick. Parsons hits it
15
all
all.
the time.
I'd like to see McNerney communicating, and Czerwinski's got to look for that.
There's no question. You play Parsons. It was one of the books on him early on when Parsons was playing with Durant is you must block the Parsons overhead at the forehand crease or cut it off. Can't let him get it in there. That's a heck of a slash right there. Long and
30-15.
It's interesting. Czerwinski and McNerney seem to want to play fast right now.
You know, there is a place to play in between that's smart, that doesn't have to be either, you know, deadeningly slow. It just has to be intelligent with where you place the ball. You can play at a reasonable pace against these guys, but you don't want to just arbitrarily hit the ball hard and fast, because the more these guys get the ball moving, the better they're going to do.
There's some really poor lobs from Arraya Parsons at this point.
Nice block there by Parsons. Now, what I've seen out of Czerwinski and McNerney is definitely
30 all.
McNerney taking about 80% of the overheads in every match I've seen. There's that big weapon that you're talking about, the Czerwinski forehand.
Where Arraya is attacking even when he's in a defensive posture, where you think he should be in a defensive posture.
Yes,
Mishit volley from McNerney there takes them to game point.
30-40.
Yep, great position. Solves a lot being in the right position. All hit his paddle. Oh, he tried a quick move on Arraya.
40 all.
You know, one of the interesting things of playing this style is they haven't gotten into a lot of those long grinding points where the Arraya overhead is controlling play. So from that perspective, I like what they're doing. Whether they can maintain it remains to be seen.
McNerney showing a willingness to attack back. And you got the
Advantage,
big weapon, the
McNerney.
Czerwinski forehand there. There's no reason not to attempt to blitz. Even Arraya from underneath the net still has to volley up. And having just beaten Arraya last week, McNerney has no fear or no,
Deuce.
you know, he's confident that he can do it.
Has to be disappointed with that miss. Got a miss-hit volley from Arraya and was on it. Just missed a little touch shot. Well, I love McNerney's court positioning. Really brazen.
Well, he's moving up and in, and I actually like it because he knows Czerwinski has a great forehand. They're attacking at the right times. From the backcourt, they look good. The last game from the net, they're going to have to get more control out of their overheads. But from the backcourt, they look great.
Advantage, McNerney.
Czerwinski does a great job moving to his left to find that forehand from the deuce court.
Wow.
Great exchange.
Huge forehand from Czerwinski. We've seen that weapon
Game.
3 or 4 times.
Czerwinski, McNerney, games are 1-0.
Way too many times
set.
for Arraya Parsons to get the ball there.
Yep, but they look good in the backcourt there. Now, with their first game when they were at the net, they didn't have any plan for their overheads or how they were approaching this point with those guys. Both these teams have such firepower from the backcourt. You have to have that net play locked down. See how it goes this time around.
$15 love.
Good eye there from McNerney.
Australian formation against Parsons.
Smart. Great shots. Beautifully done there. Perfect Australian execution.
30 love.
Terrific volley on the outside of the line there.
Oh, another great pickup from McNerney. Just misses the last
30-15.
one. Made the tough volley there.
He's confident coming forward against Arraya. Love it.
Got great hands.
Yep.
Very impressed.
So dialed in on that backhand, Parsons.
Another ball to the Czerwinski forehand. Too many balls over there. And he's making him pay so far.
That's a great forehand. Smash. He really mixes those overheads
30
perfectly
all.
there. Beautifully played there by Arraya.
But it doesn't look like Czerwinski's seen what you've seen in terms of Araya's seemingly unwillingness to hit that forehand off the deck on the return of serve. Just playing into his hands by serving that hard.
Right. Overhead smash. What hands?
Yeah.
Great job by Arraya. Such hands up there.
30-40.
So from 30 love, 3 points in a row. Parsons has the break point here.
Mark Parsons looks locked in early. Chose not to hit that one, kind of rolled it, left Arraya out to dry a little bit.
I'm not sure he knew Arraya was going in. So sometimes when you play the blitz like that, and Arraya did yell, he said, my fault, you know, so he didn't tell him he was going. It's hard for him to know how hard to hit that return.
Another great volley from McNerney.
I haven't seen a lot in these
Advantage,
situations. Here. He
Czerwinski.
is volleying great. Just right up there in good position. Not afraid to move forward and cut off the ball. Love it.
It was almost a carbon copy of the last ad court point. Again, a lot of short lobs from Arraya Parsons. As we talked about yesterday, so much the game comes down to who lobs well.
Great leave. Well
Game,
done.
Czerwinski, McNerney, they lead 2-1, first set.
Yeah, that bad lobbing there from Arraya Parsons, they really paid for it. Like what I'm seeing early from Czerwinski and McNerney.
It's a great team. I mean, all the keys to winning that we talked about, playing within themselves, they're doing that. But they're still applying pressure, and they're still moving forward at the right times when they have an opportunity. Arraya hasn't gotten going yet. The motor's not working in. You see him go. It's almost like you can see a switch sometimes, and then it starts to go. But it doesn't always happen. Sometimes he makes a few errors, and it takes him a while to get going.
Yep, it's those slash winners that just really start getting his juices flowing.
Love 50.
Fuel him, yep.
I think the thing that I'm most impressed with McNerney is his decision making. In past years, he had a tendency to go for too much on the big points, using secondary or even tertiary shots.
Right.
I've seen none of that this year.
Wow. You see that varied skill set. That might be the one bad decision there.
Yep.
You're coming in
15
transitional, that's that transition decision. Parsons has the advantage there, even though you run on top of the net. It's tough.
Boy, did he hit that back end right there.
But pretty much, I haven't seen any bad decisions yet from McNerney. That one probably should have gone to the screen there.
30-15.
Or Czerwinski, for that matter. They're playing well.
Playing well, playing smart. They had a rough first game at the net, but since then,
Oh, wow, what a spotted drive there. Again,
great
we talk
inside
about
out
it.
ball.
30 all.
It's not the pace, it's the placement. It's a great shot. Czerwinski has kind of a combo of both that pace and the placement. Aye. Fadeaway drive from back there.
40-30.
Point for 2-all. Who do you think the captain of this team is, Brett?
Czerwinski and McNerney?
Arraya Parsons.
Arraya Parsons. That's a great question. I'm not sure I can even answer that at this point in time. As you said, teams go as Arraya goes, but the captain?
Game Parsons,
see a
Arraya.
specific
Games
role.
are
What do you
2-all.
think?
First set.
Don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't see a specific role out there. I think they're both playing and supporting one another, but it seems like an even no captain thing right now. But that doesn't mean they don't discuss what's going on out there and know what's going on between themselves.
Two of the smartest players in the game. Yeah, that's not the overhead hit against these guys.
And a hard ball in there to Parsons makes no sense. And that's how the point starts. You get back,
Love
now you've
15.
lost the net, lost control of what you're doing out there, and all of a sudden the winner comes on the next ball on a slash from Arraya. But it starts with the bad choice of the overhead in the Parsons corner.
It's funny too because it's not caused by good lobs from Arraya Parsons, which we've seen none of yet. Have they been out of the service box one time hitting an overhead?
We talk about this all the time, Mark. It's not easy to finish a point. You want to hit a shot that gets your opponents moving, starts to put some pressure on them so they might miss. But when you do that, you can overplay, and you can hit it too hard.
Love 30.
Fine line. And Parsons in between points, he's got that habit of wiping his hand along the screen. You'll watch it throughout the match.
McNerney making an appearance where he had no business being.
Love 40.
I was
Not sure what he was trying to do on that point.
I think he was letting it go. I'm not sure. Oh,
Game Arraya Parsons. They lead
We
3
talked
games
a little
to
bit, Brett,
2.
yesterday about how
First set.
it's not just winning and losing games, but how you play. It's one of those bad games. They just got too fast.
yeah. Right now, I mean, the only thing that's given me concern is Czerwinski and McNerney look really good from the backcourt. Together, good decisions, solid at the net. a little all over the place.
Uline is the leading distributor of shipping, industrial, and packaging materials to businesses throughout North America. They ship over 2.5 million boxes every day, but they are so much more than a box company. More than 32,000 quality products are always in stock and ready to ship. Outstanding customer service means they're here when you need them, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Uline, the best selection, products, and people for an unforgettable customer experience.
Holidays are coming up. Uline can help with all that.
What are you going to get me, Brad?
Oh, gee, Mark, I have no idea. Probably a set of headphones.
Want Arraya to serve, hopefully Bose.
Now I gave it away. I got to change.
Don't feel badly about it.
Just a little long, great shot.
Love
That
15.
Czerwinski forehand, it's tough. And these players have such skill. You can see they can hit that forehand with a continental grip, with a western, semi-western grip. Incredible skill. That's a good looking lob there from McNerney.
McNerney's done a terrific job of getting Czerwinski's forehand in play.
Well, the block lob, and what you're going to see, the shot that's doing it for him is the block lob up the line, making Parsons hit that ball back and away. Then he has very few options. He has to either go Parsons towards Czerwinski or towards McNerney's forehand. So it's not that easy a shot.
We saw McNerney hit that little backhand off the wires and fool Grangerro Wilkinson in the semifinals. He has to be very careful using that shot against Arraya.
He'll cut drop winner. Yep.
Yeah.
If you don't catch him, he'll finish the point on you right there. See McNerney moving in, block lob, block lob. Like that play. Max Leipzig used it very effectively in his round of 16 match. Round of 32 maybe.
16 is correct. Again, another great lob from McNerney. Oh, big swing at the forehand. That was the right shot.
15
Just
all.
catches the top of the tape.
Yep.
They are playing really well from the backcourt.
No, really well. My concern has been the net play and where they're going to go. But great from the backcourt.
15 all.
Arraya wants confirmation on the score.
Wow. That's just vintage Arraya. Perfect position, stuff
30-15.
I mean, you would consider that a great return. But if you don't know where Arraya is, he just punishes you there. Great offensive volley. A couple of misses
40-15.
Great job. Just back.
40-30.
Big point early in the match right here, Brad.
I always find with Arraya and Parsons that they can steamroll you, so you have to stem the tide. You know, but the great thing is, if you're really thinking it through out here on the paddle court, you really can change the momentum by. We saw in the last semifinal, it looked like it was getting away from Budish and Stojsavljevic, but they switched in the backcourt, and what a difference it made in the entire tenor of the match.
What the sound of that ball off the Czerwinski paddle. Thud.
I was going to go for thwack.
I'll go with thwack.
Yeah.
40 all.
Parsons with a bad miss there on a roller brings it back to deuce.
Oh.
Advantage.
Don't mind him
Arraya.
hitting that, though. He's got a monster forehand.
Yep, and that one was right on it.
I mean, the old adage is never drive the ball in the net, but
It's an old adage.
well, it's true. But you know, gonna make
You
a
don't
few
mind that
mistakes here
miss.
and there. thumb set on, but Parsons isn't mad that he missed the volley. He's
Deuce.
mad that he hit the overhead right into the Czerwinski forehand.
Was that a replay? Or was that the different point? I
the
couldn't tell.
exact
Arraya.
same shot, just didn't quite calibrate it right.
Maybe the net's high.
Maybe, yeah. Get Tom Safford out of the chair and measure that.
Another opportunity. I think this is the 5th game point to close this game out. You kind of feel like the set's hanging in the balance a little bit.
So good, those hands. That's the down the line lob that sets up the Czerwinski forehand.
And then a mishit
Game.
volley
Arraya
followed by
Parsons.
an insincere
They
apology
lead
from
4
Arraya.
games to 2. First set.
As inwardly he's celebrating.
No, it's a great shot. He deserved it. Great hands up there.
4 to 2-4.
So they've had Czerwinski and McNerney have held once in 3 tries.
Yeah, let's see if they can get some sort of plan or formula for the net play here.
The
I mean,
interesting
go
thing
ahead,
is
Mark.
that the plan is relatively simple. Everybody knows the plan, right? It's a lot of soft overloads in the middle.
I'll tell you what, though, Parsons is hitting his forehand now, not rolling it.
Yeah.
Hitting.
Love 15.
That came off of a bad overhead from McNerney, soft and high to the Parsons forehand. Really hit down on that ball. Great
Soft,
point
high,
of
and
contact.
short. Gotta let the overheads drop. Play the ball long, low, and deep. Can't fly off the screen.
Great serve there from Czerwinski.
15 all.
Parsons will do that from time to time. Take a really hard ball, trying to get it at the guy's body. It's not a bad play. It keeps somebody off balance. If you miss, however, it's an error. There they go. Now they're going with the deep middles, soft and deep middles. Smart play there by Arraya, recognizes the side spin on the ball. Lets the ball spin over there. His partner, Mark Parsons. Oh. Just read it perfectly. Low lob and then a quick move in for the down to up overhead.
There's that Arraya spin that's causing
15-30.
troubles. They've done a great job of staying away from those points.
Got caught there. They're playing well, Arraya and Parsons. Parsons particularly is really letting it go. Let that one go.
30 all.
Kind of held on to that one. Didn't really go after it with commitment.
That contact was way too close into him. Didn't get it away from him. So smart by Czerwinski. Stays back and hits the drive and then takes the net. Oh! He is ripping the forehand.
Huge forehand from Parsons there. Czerwinski
30,
was
40.
helpless to that ball.
I mean, imagine if we have to say you can't hit it to the Parsons backhand or the Parsons forehand.
Court gets kind of small.
I mean, unbelievably small. He is crushing his forehand right now. Yeah, so normally we're used to seeing Arraya do everything around the court. You see Parsons is super animated. Very aggressively looking for balls in the strike zone, hitting hard rollers, speeding up that play.
Arraya just cut the ears off of that last one.
It's a good thing we change balls every 7 games. Oh,
Pushing the tempo a little bit
Game,
faster.
Arraya
Yeah,
Parsons.
and that's
They
that
lead
pressure they
5
put, so he
games to
tries
2.
a tough shot there.
First set.
I was surprised that McNerney and Czerwinski didn't try and switch back on that point. Czerwinski seems to me to do a much better job of finding his forehand from the deuced court than the ad court.
Yeah, he's great over there because he does do a great job with that. But it's also, they are working it pretty well in the backcourt. Like I said, the backcourt's been
New
okay.
ball, boys.
You see McNerney, they're switching balls now. You know, lobbing down the line. That lob down the line does set him up. You know, it sets up that Czerwinski forehand.
Yeah, I thought McNerney just lobbed great. First 4 or 5 games.
It's just the tempo's a little fast, and when they're at the net, they're not hitting good, long, deep overheads. Like Parsons is unloading on balls left and right. And when he's able to do that, that allows Arraya to come forward, and you're in a world of hurt. That's a great pace return.
Love 15.
Heck of a shot.
New ball, switching after 7 games. Grand Prix this year. How does the new ball change play, Brad?
You know, the extra bit of flocking allows you to get more spin on
shot.
it.
Ball was good.
Better true bounce, called out
Ball
by
was good.
Arraya and overruled by chair umpire Tom Safford.
That would look out to me from my angle.
Well, you have no power in this situation. 15 all.
Brad, what situations
30.
do I have power in?
That's a great point. That's a great cutter. Nice dig. Oh, so good. That is
I got a
just
replay of that.
vintage Arraya.
15-30.
And the ability to actually hit that first one long and deep and then short, it's an incredible skill. People don't realize how hard that is. That's a great backhand. Gotta let that go. Arraya knows it. There's no point in having the one up, one back when you have your
15-40.
partner back. That's the purpose of him, to get that ball for you. They're
30-40.
looking over here. All right, it was a great shot there by Arraya, right on the line. They kept staring at it. I was waiting for them to call it out or not, but
Yeah.
it was perfect ball. Great shot.
Czerwinski and McNerney ended up both on the center stripe. They had that part of the court covered like a blanket.
Oh, opts for a lob there. He gets a little caught off balance. It's a smart choice.
You know, the big points, Mark Parsons is much more comfortable in the backboard than he is at the net.
It's a question of damage. He ends the point better from the backcourt than he does in the net. He
Yep.
can end it with the drive or set it up with the drive better. Right, just working the point here.
Great read by Arraya on the nick.
Wow.
McNerney's really volleying well.
Look at how fast Parsons gets to the side wire to set up his backhand. It's so dangerous. But again,
40 out.
what's with the down up overhead? Let the ball drop, put it long and deep through the court.
Yep.
You're going to eat it, and he did.
And that Parsons got a big backhand from over there is not exactly a surprise. There's the deep one.
Still did it while fading away. So good.
A couple of replays to show you potentially after this
Hanisch,
game.
Parsons.
But again, where do you think that point originated from? They're both in position at the net. Czerwinski's backing away, he hits the drive, then the point speeds up in a way where they're not controlling the speed. And you get the short lob and the put away. It's tough.
Parsons switching in the backcourt. We just haven't seen enough discipline from Czerwinski and McNerney in these points. Too many hard overheads, too many balls to the Parsons backhand. Assume Hughes and Powers are home, wishing they were here. I know Hughes was dealing with some tendonitis in the shoulder. They were looking forward to defending their title.
Yeah, it's unfortunate they couldn't be here today, but a lot more of the season left.
Much better tempo with the net from Czerwinski and McNerney here.
Well, this is the thing. It's so tough. You gotta keep it away, and with the way Parsons is hitting that ball back there, he's so judicious with where you hit these overheads. It's gonna get hit. Great grip. So all that work.
Wow!
And in a blink of an eye. That's just incredible.
We're going to show you those three replays
play
before we take a break for commercial here.
Got some highlight reels stacking up here, Mark.
There's our crack crew from ENET. Here we go.
There's that undercut. Look at that. Just perfect. See how the paddle comes underneath the bottom half of the ball? And it's a subtle difference where he can go through and under. That one's just completely under. Here's the next one.
You think about what a short distance we have to cover to get to that ball, and he's still unable to touch it.
Well, and it's funny how fast Arraya is swinging, and yet the ball's only moving forward 3 feet, 2 feet,
Yep.
and
Here's
then spinning back.
Here's the third one. They hit about 30
Boom.
good overheads until they hit
And
one
make
bad
one, and that was it. And you knew it was getting hit. And then he hits the transition bad choice. Just lob it up. Why would you hit that half-pace drive when you don't know where Arraya is? And then he stuffs the volley by McNerney, and then the cut drop winner.
That was really well done by the ENET guys.
But you gotta lob that transition ball there, Mark.
Yep.
Unless the ball's higher than the net, you can hit it downward.
Keys to victory, Brad, right?
Yep.
Dealing with the transition game, and they're playing too fast.
There's not enough discipline. Like they started that last point that they lost. They were doing it the right way. Gave him nothing, and then, but they're hitting still hard spin over it. So you gotta dump a few in there too.
Just a minute,
But
boys.
that was a great set from Parsons and Arraya. Perfect combination. Parsons just crushing his ground strokes, and Arraya cut finishing any point that moves fast.
Be interesting to see if we see something different from Czerwinski and McNerney.
This is the key, because this is where the steamroller comes in. If they don't change it, and the only other possibility is, and we've seen it before, is Arraya starts making a few ridiculous errors here and there. Gives him a little life. It's either going to have to be a
15
little
love.
change.
But that comes with the tactics.
Yep.
When you play slower, that encourages them to make more mistakes. I mean, I actually thought Czerwinski and McNerney played a pretty good set from a ball striking perspective.
Oh, in the backcourt, I think they were good. No, I agree with you.
But they've just got to be more disciplined at the net.
Yeah, but that's half the game, Mark.
No, that's all the game, Brett. That decision making and discipline.
No, I just meant backcourt to frontcourt. But there you go. Oh, it's a great play. But McNerney's got to know that ball's going to spin back to him there.
You know, Brad, I keep coming back to that teaching lesson you gave to a buddy of mine, Joe Palestino, where you told him sometimes it's 30, 40 good decisions to win a point.
Palestino still playing?
He made the decision not to play anymore.
What a great shot there. Too good.
30-15.
Big game from Czerwinski and McNerney to stop the steamroller. They're up 2-1. Lost the last 5 games of that set. Oh. There's little half volleys for Arraya when he's in trouble. Or at least it seems like he should be in trouble.
Yeah, no, he's a master at putting his paddle down. One of the things that great players do is they put their paddle down and in front of them in a position where the ball is likely to go. And surprisingly enough, the paddle's right there when people hit it. And, you know, Arraya's a master at that.
Drew Broderick is also extraordinary at it.
Exceptional at it. So it looks like they're just right there, and they are. See, there's what we were talking about here. It's this, what
40-15.
the other thing that hopefully Czerwinski and McNerney can hope for is a little of this, like.
Well, there they played a
loose error.
slow, patient point, a lot of soft overheads. Got the error.
And we could see, like, in the middle, when Parsons and Arraya started going there, you see Parsons crushing balls, just dominating in the backcourt there. If they can take away those shots from him and allow them to make some errors without dictating the point, that's going to be the key.
So again, a lot of short lobs. Had a ball to swing at there and just missed it. It was so bad it was kind of good.
1-love, second set.
Much better tempo from Czerwinski McNerney there at the net. Viking Athletics is the premier brand and the undisputed leader in platform tennis. Viking is platform tennis, the official paddle of the APTA, engineered to provide superior feel and the perfect balance of power, control, spin, and durability. The Viking paddle is the official paddle of the APTA, of the APTA Nationals and President's Cup, and of course, of the APTA Grand Prix Tour. Okay, Juan Arraya to serve, love 1, second set. Thwack, was that the word used?
Thwack.
Love 15.
Well, he does bring that forehead.
Oh, it's a massive shot. Nice.
Parsons, casual cross-handed volley.
Yeah. Great job hitting for those creases, trying to create more of this action that they love up there.
We haven't seen too many of those one-handed backhands from Czerwinski.
You know, I think it's a good thing.
We haven't seen it.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing that we haven't seen it.
Oh.
15 all.
What a volley.
That was a heck of a volley. Look at that beautiful forehands from Czerwinski. Oh, what digs by Parsons. It was very courteous of Arraya not to run for any of those balls.
He did
got
direct
Parsons over in this corner. He's, I believe, Araya's a little younger. Maybe not.
15-30.
Close in age.
No, Araya's older.
He's older? Oh, then I guess it was right for Parsons to run for him. That's how I look at it. Huge forehand again, though, but he's done that 4 or 5 times.
15-40.
Cross-court overhead into the Czerwinski forehand. He's yelling that he's there, but the reaction time is so small. This ball's on him in a half second at most, probably less. That's great down the line drive that Czerwinski has.
There's a good lob from Arraya. Catches the lead cord.
There we go.
Game,
It's 2-love.
Czerwinski, McNerney, they lead 2 games to love.
That is a
Second
great
set.
start. But it's that combination of things that we talked about. You're getting a few errors starting to creep in, and they're playing a little bit better. They're a little more disciplined at the net.
Pace
That
at the
combined
net.
with the errors, what a huge difference. And actually some mistakes there from Parsons in Arraya too. You know, they fed that Czerwinski forehand 3-4 times there.
Well, that's a surprising miss from Parsons.
Yeah, we sort of lost it here. I lost it in the
15
monitor,
love.
but you would have thought he would have had that. He must have misread it.
$15-all.
The one thing I like about Czerwinski and McNerney is they just keep moving along. You know, there's not a lot of histrionics or disappointment. They go to the next point. Oh, hands are up. Can't get them down in time. Got to keep that paddle down.
But again, the
15-30.
overhead got them in trouble. Hard overhead to the Parsons side wire. Not where you want the ball.
Great if they could step on them a little, build some momentum. Great volley there. Oh!
15-40.
I think there's a mark in the tape.
He thundered that. I mean, he missed it in the tape, but a lot of pace. Oh boy. Nice hands.
Well, you got baited into that one.
30-40.
Big point right here, Brad. Yes, yes, yes.
Right on the line. It's a good call though still from Arraya because it was spent 90% of its time out. It just landed right on the line.
There's a good lob. Arraya sets up the Parsons forehand. Parsons sets up the Czerwinski forehand.
Misses it though.
Game,
A
Arraya,
lot of balls
Parsons.
into that forehand. Hadn't he, Brad? You surprised by that?
Czerwinski,
Too many.
McNerney
You know,
lead 2
Parsons
games to
always
1.
uses
Second
that
set.
cross-court roller. It's just a shot. You got to be a little judicious with it. I think, you know, because Czerwinski's forehand is massive, but I think he just likes speeding up the pace. He thinks that even if Czerwinski whacks it, now the pace is moving faster. Unless he gets, you know, misses the volley, it's going to go through and he's going to get a screen drive next. So I think he just likes the pace it starts to create, even if he loses a point here and there. It's sort of like I look at it like gambling a little bit. You know, he knows he's going to lose a couple, but maybe he thinks he's going to win 3 for every 2 he loses. And if you win 3 out of 5 points, you're winning a match comfortably.
2-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see him hitting the ball a little bit harder with the roller going after the nick because he hasn't really been committed to that shot. That ball kind of sat there a little bit. Better than the down-up overheads he hit.
Yep.
Okay, Parsons to serve 1-2, second set.
Oh, wow, what a volley. Nice. Great spot there.
Love
Really
15.
held that ball a long time.
We talked about his varied skill set. He's got a lot of those tricks, those shots. Hold the ball, hit it, dip it.
Knock it in the middle of the net.
15-0.
I have that shot, Brad.
You got that one.
I own that one.
You own that one. I like it if they start letting that ball drop on the overheads. Oh, well done there by McNerney, spinning it back over the nets.
Great shot.
Just for the viewers out there, you are allowed to
15-30.
run onto the other side of the court as long as you don't step in the court to get the ball. So had he been able to get it, it would have been legal, but wasn't able to get it on one bounce.
Another missed volley from Arraya. He's not volleyed well. 15-40.
Oh, loose game there, loose game.
Czerwinski, McNerney, they lead 3 games to 1.
Well, like we
Second set.
said, you know, if they can stick in there, they're starting to see a few of these errors creep in. They've been fine from the backcourt. See if they can hold now.
I see Arraya just blitz the net after that overhead, looking for the Czerwinski forehand.
Around the net post, look at that. Vintage Parsons. Steps back. Oh, so good. Incredible.
Czerwinski hit a great forehand there.
He did a great forehand. We talk about it all the time. You think you have the advantage.
Love
So
15.
then he starts moving in. He takes a volley from underneath the net and puts it behind in perfect space. And that's an amazing shot. Sometimes you just got to say nice shot.
You need strings to hit that shot, Brad.
Dipping that inside out angle is
15
a
all.
tough ball to play. It's not advisable out here. That's a good pace on the Czerwinski serve. Not too hard, not flying off the screen too much.
Brad, big thank you for Jerry Vian for all our hard work this weekend, setting us up with the cameras, the production with the ENET guys. She put so much time and effort into this.
And a huge thanks to our crew as well. John, Kelly, Austin. Great job, everybody. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed it. We didn't live stream any of it, but Kelly's got a pretty good forehand. He's out there practicing in between the matches.
30-15.
I thought Timo kicked his butt.
He did, but I didn't really want to mention it. How old's Timo?
8.
Yeah, all right, well.
Great slash there from McNerney.
$40-15.
Nice.
Okay, chance for another hole. This would be Czerwinski's third of the match, and all of them the only ones for his team.
Oh, such great hands on the half volley. But he makes those look so easy. Oh! I mean, he set that up perfectly.
40-30.
Can't argue with that.
Nope,
It's
he's
a
had great
great
success
play.
with that shot too.
Can't argue with it. It's a great play. It's 40-30 to score.
Yep.
Nice job using the Australian to get into net now against Parsons. It's been the most effective play we've seen today. Oh, Parsons actually overplays that ball a little bit.
Czerwinski, McNerney, they lead 4-1, second set.
Another hold. Definitely playing better this set. Really like their tempo at the net. I think it's much improved. And as you pointed out, it's giving Arraya a chance to make some mistakes.
No, it's a slow, subtle thing that we see all the time. There's errors creeping in now. A few forced plays from Arraya and Parsons. And in that first set, how many times did we see Parsons just crushing balls, right? And in the last 5-6 games, how many times have we seen it?
Not much.
It's dried up. That means it's not there anymore. It's a great tactical change. And that's what it takes to be able to win these matches. Make your adjustments.
Arraya to serve.
Love.
Oh, what great speed there from Czerwinski to track that down. Oh, great playing up there from McNerney.
He does have tremendous hands, Brad.
15 all.
You know, I haven't seen him up close that many times. His hands are great. He is very confident moving forward in there. He's a big guy. He's got to be at least about 6'3", right? 6'4", and he's got some range up there. He's a good volleyer.
Great dig there from Czerwinski.
Yep. Every one of those digs has the same kind of feel. You put that paddle down low.
We're not going to talk about that shot, Brad.
Oh, it's incredible.
Through ball.
Oh, well done.
Parsons was going around the net, and the net post got in the way.
30 all.
Great job there by Czerwinski. Soft hands.
Boy, Arraya's serve is so reliable, isn't it, Brad? Just throws it in there.
Yeah, and he has the ability to dial it up, especially on the outside on a big point. Like you talked about, he has full commitment all the time. He's not afraid to go for it in crucial moments. Any of his shots.
I don't know if I'd want to be blitzing the net when Mark Parsons has a backhand. Oh,
I'd say that one was not a high ball, so it wasn't so bad. Great play there on that drive.
30, 40.
Parsons. You got Arraya moving a little. And
Mark
then a
Parsons' vision.
Yep.
Break point for 5-1.
Great set here being played. It's that combination of a few errors creeping in.
It's the style of play that's encouraged the errors. Oh, what a shot. We saw that on the forehand side earlier, now on the backhand side. That's a pretty nice
40 all.
pair of bookends right there.
Oh, yeah.
On a huge point, no less.
Yeah, this is a big difference between 5-1 and 4-2.
Another point for 5-1.
Advantage McNerney.
Although we all know in paddle, always a chance to come back. All you have to do is change your tactics a little, dial up, dry up the errors. Missed it.
Good
for that.
swing. Just misses it wide.
I think he just went for too much.
Deuce.
I understand he wanted to hit it a little bit on the wide, but go off the hip side, not around Arraya.
McNerney's playing really well.
Solid, great play.
You don't see Arraya miss that volley too
Advantage
many
McNerney.
times. This game is taking on added importance the deeper it goes. Third game point.
Yep. Ooh, great overhead from Parsons there. And track it down. No.
There it is.
Great shot.
Game.
5-1.
Czerwinski, McNerney.
For the
They
Czerwinski
lead 5
forehand,
games to
McNerney
1. Switch ball,
volleying
please,
has
boys.
really made the difference this set.
Yeah, and don't discount that lob down the line that McNerney hit there that set up a quick Parsons lob, that went high. That set up the sequence.
He has really lobbed well today. I did not think he lobbed well last night, but really lobbed with a purpose today. Set up a lot of offense.
That's a smart over. Let the ball drop. Tactic the better players use more and more. You see Czerwinski jumping up for these lobs because Araya's taking him off the deck, and the amount of time they have to get behind them is less, so they don't have time to get in position as well. Forces that up-down overhead where you can get some opportunities. Tries the no-look there.
Great get from Arraya. But again, a lot of short lobs from Arraya Parsons.
Wow, great point here. Great points.
Love 15. All.
So we talk about this all the time. Whether you win or lose the set right now, play the points the right way you want to play them going forward. There is such a thing as losing a game but having positive play in it.
No help from
15-30.
McNerney there for his partner Czerwinski as he was hitting the overhead.
Got to call out those blitzes.
15-40.
There's one of those blurts we see from Czerwinski every once in a while. A reaching slash.
Game Arraya Parsons. Czerwinski, McNerney lead 5 games to 2. Second set.
You don't want to give him life. You want
That's
to
the
let him find
thing.
a spark.
Yep, I agree with you 100%. And it is commonly talked about. We talk about it almost 50% of the matches. As soon as a team gets up big, all of a sudden the errors start to come here and there. A few errors in that game.
Yep.
I mean, good shots there by Parsons and Arraya, there's no question, but clearly looser mistakes there.
I mean, the reaching slash from Czerwinski is one of those shots that leaves you scratching your head.
Yeah, and once those errors creep in, they kind of start rolling, and
We saw it beautifully yesterday from Le Pavere, up 4-11 in the second set, played a terrible game.
yeah,
And then all of a sudden, Arraya Parsons were back in it.
not back in it. I think they were up 5-4. They won the
Yep,
next 5 games.
in a row.
Love.
seems like the whole tempo's changed
No,
in
it's
the
a
last 5
snowball. I
minutes.
mean,
30 love.
it's a little snowball. We're just what we're talking about. The hardest thing to do is to finish a point and finish a set.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things that distinguishes our sport from lots of others, which is you can't just step up to the line, hit a couple of big serves, and close out a match. You have to rely on your opponents to make some mistakes.
And when inevitably happens, as it gets closer to the end, the other team buckles down more, and then the team that's ahead starts to hope the other team loses versus play the way they did to get to the lead to begin with. Now, why Arraya would take a ball
30-15
when they're bleeding some errors for them is beyond me.
McNerney's done a great job with the Arraya slash. Really hasn't been much of a factor in the match.
30 all. That
30 all.
That one.
quick couple errors right back.
2 points from the set.
So you think we're headed 3 here, Mark?
Surely looks that way, Brad.
Nice play. Great read by Parsons. People have gotten so good at
40,
reading that
30.
slash. He held it, he showed it too early. If he could have held it a little longer and then or pushed it behind Parsons, that would have been huge. All
Game
right.
Parsons,
5-3.
Arraya.
Getting a little tight.
Cherwinski and McNerney
Definitely getting
lead
a little tight.
5 games to 3.
In fact, I would say right now, if they don't hold it out here,
Czerwinski's held both times he served this set.
serving it. Whoa, Arraya went hard and at McNerney there. But
15 up.
Misses the body and way out.
He's not hit that forehand off the deck particularly well all tournament.
Oh, how about that? Great leg cord right into the body of Arraya.
30 love.
Great forehands. Brings to mind the great John Milbank line.
Absolutely.
Don't get let cords if you lob. 2 points from the set again.
Oh, wow. Just moves that ball around so well.
So much control.
Shoving it
30,
down the line,
15.
pinpoint, then right through the middle. Stunned them. Wasn't even hard, just stunned them up there. He should have volleyed that, but he didn't even see it coming. Oh boy, up. Expected a Parsons huge backhand there. Great volley by Czerwinski.
Balls out. 30 all.
How about that? Great little push drive there by Arraya.
You see Arraya Parsons starting to work together, understand what they each like to do. As Arraya was blitzing there, but they let a ball through for Parsons.
Oh, he had the dink and blitz, but just placed far enough out for
40-30.
Arraya there.
Set point for Czerwinski, McNerney.
Oof, right on the line there with that push overhead. That was a great read there by Czerwinski. Sees Parsons sneak up the wire, goes quick panel smash behind him. Called switch at the net.
Parsons really could have unloaded on that backhand. It didn't.
That's trouble. What a good dig.
We got to see that Parsons shot again with the left foot on the side wire.
Yeah, he's one of the inventors of the old spring off the screen shots. Vintage Parsons. Nice
Great get in the
dig.
nick.
Wow.
Those are the decisions that plagued McNerney the last couple of years. Big points,
40 all.
just making poor decisions. He
That was-
just was not in a position to put himself in offensive posture there.
Right? That was a great point, though, by Arraya and Parsons.
Czerwinski and McNerney have volleyed so well.
Got him in the nick there. Great volley.
Set
Advantage.
point number 2.
Czerwinski.
Surprised Arraya hasn't spiked any of those.
Nick quite early enough.
He plays so far in the middle of the court, it's hard to get over there too.
Oh, that backhand slide down the line. Beautiful hands there by McNerney. So they like to play at McNerney. To the left of Czerwinski, try to dictate a little bit with cut overheads. Oh, great play. Again, I questioned the drive off the screen there from McNerney,
Deuce.
but a great point. Wow. Wow. Those are not easy balls he's taking with that backhand. So economical. That's not easy.
The ball was ankle high.
Incredible.
He managed to get enough pace on it that McNerney couldn't handle it, and
Pace
it would have been
top
good.
spin. It was in.
Advantage Parsons.
Incredible shot.
Who do you think is the best one-handed backhand of the tour?
All right. I'll give it to him. I was going to say you, but it's Arraya.
Then I would have known you've been drinking.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Point for 5-4. One area Arraya Parsons can get better is their lobs have just been really bad. A lot of short lobs.
I think it might be somewhat tactical, though, to hit lower, shorter lob to try to elicit up-down shots. We'll have to discuss that with him after. I'm more curious if that was a plan or if it really just were short.
Parsons wanted to hit that one in the worst way, but it just ended up in a bad spot for him.
Yeah, and I think he actually recognized Arraya wasn't quite ready and in position, so it's a smart play when your partner's not ready to go. To give him time to get back into position.
You see no switching from Arraya and Parsons in the backcourt
Not
in
at
this
all.
match.
Arraya's using that backhand chip extremely well. They're working that middle, and he's finding little creases and spots in the net. Oh, what a shot by McNerney over there.
We have to take a replay at that one.
Deuce.
Just a fantastic lob from Arraya, and McNerney had the answer. You know, when Czerwinski looked up expecting McNerney to hit it, I thought he was wrong, but it turned out he was right.
Yeah. I think that's how they drew it up, but what heck of a shot there by McNerney.
This is a heck of a game, Brad.
It feels very important. I really think they need to close this one out now. 5-1 lead. These points are very, very tough here. Gotta make the right play. Cutter? Nope. Wow.
This is some really high quality stuff.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, there's no misses, but there's still. Oh, what a shot! Incredible.
Advantage Parsons.
Wow.
Another point for 5-4. It's the shot Drew Broderick invented, little Zorro overhead. Big
Great
forehand
shot.
from Parsons. We're
Game,
back to 5-4.
Parsons and Arraya.
Let's take a look at some of the spectacular
Czerwinski,
play from that
McNerney
game. Here's
lead, 5
Parsons with
games
the
to
foot on the
4,
side
second
wire.
set.
And then the second dig after. That's incredible. Got another clip
And
here.
here's that amazing shot from McNerney. Right between the two of them is they're kind of dumbfounded.
They were stunned. Stunned. He's back there. They assume he's going to hit something kind of like defensive. Ball's behind him, and he hits a cut overhead, basically.
You know, Brad, a lot of times you see early season paddle, it's a little rough around the edges. The guys haven't been playing as much. They're not tournament tough. This is something you might expect to see at the quarters and nationals.
This is great. Great match. You know, people finding their level, playing high level right away. This is incredible stuff.
Okay, Arraya will serve for 5-all
Yep.
in 4 consecutive games.
Now, Czerwinski and McNerney seem even-keeled always out there. They don't seem to be worried. They always seem a little nonplussed. You don't see a lot of fist pumps, and you don't see a lot of downturns. But there's got to be a little, something
Little doubt
creeping in
creeping
there.
in.
Right, because you have a 5-1 lead. And like we talked about, it started off with that not-so-good game at 5-1 to get them to 5-2. Then quick hold. Now another chance. I mean, great points there, but they end up on the losing end.
Yeah, I'd like to see Arraya hitting that wide serve more to Czerwinski.
Make a move to the side a little bit
Yep.
instead of inward.
Give himself a little more time to get to the net. Czerwinski Czerwinski's just been killing him on that serve down the middle. McNerney has lobbed so well from the backhand court.
Yep.
Oh, on that ball too.
You read the
15 love.
The ball into the crease was up the wire. Ball was high, but still couldn't convert. Tough shot.
There's a little bit of a
30
blurt
love.
right there from McNerney. Couple of bad decisions and some big moments in the last 15 minutes.
Well, at some point in time, the error's got to come from somewhere, and you see how they bleed back in one way or the other. You saw Arraya and Parsons start to make a few errors when they got down 5-1. Now all of a sudden that bad game, now the errors are creeping back to the other side. Arraya and Parsons
Great
cleaned
shot
up
from
theirs.
Czerwinski there.
That was incredible.
Interesting, they switched to put the Parsons overhead in the middle there. Arraya misses the slash badly, and they're 2 points from the set
30
again.
all.
They've been 2 points to the set quite a few times here, Mark.
They've been 1 point from the set too.
Still have not had a set point yet.
No, they did have a set point. That's the one that Graham tried to came up the
Oh,
wires.
right.
Great long point. I think they had a couple. Great getting the nick there.
That's a huge forehand.
But Arraya with that down-up overhead. And I love Arraya allowing Parsons to hit some more of the overheads, because his slash overhead's not been that effective. There's Czerwinski moving to the middle of the court, looking for that forehand.
High lob there. Going a couple up.
Czerwinski's got both feet on the other side of the center stripe there. Does such a good job of looking for that forehand.
He is, but you see McNerney committed to lobbing to set up the Czerwinski forehand. He's not looking to set up his own forehand. He is looking to set up the Czerwinski forehand because
Here it
he's had
comes.
opportunities to possibly hit a forehand. McNerney has, but he hasn't gone for it.
Great play from McNerney there.
Yep. Easily handles the spin that time.
Now you see great tempo. Great recovery from Parsons.
You see how he went back afterwards when he thought he was a little bit on the defense. Smart play. There it is.
They caught Czerwinski a little bit
40,
too far to his
30.
left there. Point for 5 all. Good quality stuff continues. McNerney makes another bad
Game
choice,
Arraya
and
and
it's 5 all.
Parsons. Games are 5 all.
You still think we're going to a third set here, Mark?
Brad, are you surprised to see Timo Arraya rooting for Czerwinski and McNerney?
It's stunning to me.
I don't understand that. His dad's not going to be happy
He
about
must
that.
have cut off his allowance or something, made him go to bed early.
Boy, they're hitting way too many balls there. They're getting away with it. Oh.
Oh, under the net, goes for the down the liner.
15 love.
Anybody else, I'd say that was a stupid shot. In Araya's case, it wasn't a wise shot.
Yeah, fair enough.
He's pulled it off so many times. Well, you really seeing a lack of patience creep into the
15 all.
McNerney game, aren't you, Brad?
It started with that game at 5-1, the loose game. It always does. It starts with the one loose game. The thing goes off the tracks. The other team tightens up, and here's how it goes. It happens so many times, Mark, that it almost should be like have a name or a condition or something.
Let's call it the Le Pavere.
Okay, fair enough.
Having seen him execute it so beautifully yesterday from 4-love. Parsons with another big forehand. Arraya Parsons are giving away absolutely nothing right now. And I hate to say this, Brad, but what was the last fault we saw?
I don't remember one. So
Yeah, it's been
hard for me
unbelievably
to
well-served
think
match.
about. Yep. Oh, that's Czerwinski. He's so good.
And Arraya has the answers.
He does. But great play.
Yeah, I'd be playing more balls to McNerney in the back, in the forehand side, make him hurt me. Because we know Czerwinski can hurt you.
Yeah, no, McNerney is not. Oh, the let cord. How about that? Huge.
30-15.
This is where you need something to go your way. That was a great shot. Unbelievable.
Great serve there from McNerney.
40-15.
Two more game points to break the streak of 4 consecutive games. And there it is.
Game,
Arraya
Czerwinski,
just has not been
McNerney.
comfortable
They
returning
lead
off the
6
deck, and
games
that's
to
due
5.
side.
Second set.
That was huge, huge. Get a little bit of a break there. Imagine
let
if
cord.
that other let cord ball goes into the net. Now it's 15-30, but that's how it always. We see it all the time.
That's paddle.
It is indeed.
Okay, so Parsons will serve to get into a tie break. Hold or break, Brad. What do you got?
You know, I think we're going to the breaker. It was a great comeback from Arraya Parsons, though, from 5-1 down. But as is usual with most comebacks, there's a little help along the way here and there from the opponents.
Okay, Mark Parsons to serve. 5-6, second set.
I'd like to see McNerney start to set up his own forehand a little bit here and there now, just to create a different look back there. I'd like to see him get a little confident, taking an offensive forehand when he can.
You know, Czerwinski in the past has really struggled against the Arraya overhead when he's caught in the backhand side. And it's interesting to me, they played so well with McNerney over there. When they get switched, they don't appear to be
15
interested in
love.
switching back. Any ideas why, Brad?
No, I think they would. I mean, clearly from my perspective, they've been much more effective with McNerney in the
Ad court.
in the ad court.
And we jinxed Parsons into a fault. That's the first one
15
since they
all.
had set point on his serve. First set.
That Arraya backhand has been spot on.
Again, a lot of short lobs from Arraya Parsons. Haven't seen Czerwinski and McNerney leave the service box once this get point. There's a good lob, and here comes the Parsons backhand.
Oh, look at that.
30-15.
But it all starts with the lob.
Great drive. You would think McNerney had that one, and he
Yep.
thought he had it too. I mean, he just missed it, is what it is.
Can't make every volley.
Nope.
Unless you're Drew Broderick.
30-all.
Couple of faults from Parsons. That's where you could. Czerwinski just
40-30.
felt Arraya at the net. Was trying so hard to get the ball away from him.
Yep. Crucial. Chance to go up for a set point there. One thing you never see McNerney do is move up the side wire to look for that forehand.
Doesn't look for that forehand at all in the backcourt.
Yep.
And I'm surprised that.
It's a great move. We see him
See
finally hit the forehand.
Yeah. And it works out.
40-all.
I guess if you use it once every 2 sets, it comes as a surprise to your
Right?
opponents.
There you go. Right. They'll never expect it.
That's what happens when mine goes over the net, Brad.
Shocking.
Advantage
Learning with
Parsons.
a couple of surprising misses.
And he shouts out, "That's unacceptable."
And he's
right.
right.
That's it.
Arraya catches the nick, big fist pump,
Game
and we're going to play a
Arraya
tiebreak for the
Parsons.
second set, Brad.
Tiebreaker time.
6-all.
Hard not to like Arraya Parsons in this tiebreak.
I mean,
Agreed?
everything's going more their way right now. I think McNerney's got to look to set up the forehand here and there. It's too passive in the backcourt now. They're not getting anything. You're not seeing even very many of those Czerwinski drives because McNerney's not hitting anything.
Arraya questions Czerwinski serving, but as usual, he's wrong. Parsons spots that backhand so well in addition to everything else. That's a great lob.
Another good lob. They're really pinpointing their lobs, trying to create a little confusion to the net court team. Looks like it's working. They're getting him moving up and back a lot now at this point.
Parsons did not look great on that side wire there, Brad. Good overhead from McNerney. His spin has had a real impact on the match. In fact, it's had a bigger impact on the match than the Arraya spin has had.
Love one.
Yeah, very little. I mean, there were a few cuts for winners, but not that many. Not that kind of dominance, twisting somebody around in that washing machine sort of way.
Maybe Parsons should have tried to climb the wires there. I'm surprised Arraya Parsons played so many balls into Czerwinski's corner. McNerney just generating so little offense other than through his lobbing. I would have thought they'd play more balls back to him. Like that's just a horrible overhead.
Ooh.
Czerwinski just misses, but you don't want to live
1-0.
over there.
Well, at this point, from what I'm seeing here, though, it's the only offense on the court right now, unless they're giving an easy high ball off the screen to McNerney.
Okay, so now they're switched. If I were McNerney, Czerwinski, I'd be switching back rapidly. The last couple times it's happened, they have not looked to return to their normal size.
Czerwinski, I mean, McNerney will hit it high up there, but he never moves to the inside, and he does not have a backhand drive. I mean, he has a high backhand drive off the screen that he pushes down, but he doesn't have a backhand
1-2.
drive otherwise.
But again, no intent to switch. Czerwinski misses the forehand, 1-2. ball from Parsons.
Like that. That's beautiful.
Great overhead lob from Arraya.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to spike it, and then he pushed it up into the air.
I wouldn't mind seeing McNerney get himself in position to hit the spike from over there.
He's got to move up the wire a little bit. He's got to create a look over there every now and then. It's the same look every time. There he goes. He moved up the wire a little bit there. You noticed that one there from McNerney.
He's really an old school type of player in a lot of ways, isn't he, Brad?
Who's that?
McNerney.
Yeah. I mean, but he's got all the modern tools, you know, cuts, drops, spins.
As Arraya hits a cut winner. First one in a while, 3-1. Yeah, he does, but he doesn't have a big offensive weapon
1-3
that you'd expect. And he lobs exceptionally well. Really been impressed by his lobbing. Too aggressive there.
Yep. He has such confidence in the Parsons return that he starts coming forward without any knowledge of what's going to happen.
So it's 2-3.
3 serving 2.
3 serving 2. Parsons serving. Second set tiebreak. See what they're going to do with that big Czerwinski return. Parsons been staying back a lot.
He's going to stay back again, which is wise.
A little too aggressive from Arraya. We're back to 3-all.
How about that? 2 aggressive plays in a row, both end up in errors. There we go from McNerney, the forehand.
Big forehand, and they're up a mini break. Or up a mini
4
hold.
serving 3.
Or up a point, how about
Up
that?
a point.
That's about it.
4-3.
Oh, not going to dig that one out. Great shot there by Parsons.
Czerwinski's got to have one of the best serves in the game,
4-all.
Brad. He's been throwing them in hard and heavy. Hadn't faulted in a long time.
Solid, reliable, little spin.
He's
Good
really
pace.
impressive. A lot of game. Testimony to the depth of the guy's game these days that a player as good as Marek Czerwinski hasn't been past quarters of nationals. I was thinking about that one.
Wow, just back and forth. I mean, they have made that choice here, and that's a great play there. What a tight point there from Arraya Parsons.
You know, you put your hand in the bear's cage enough times, and the bear's gonna bite it. And they gave Parsons just too many backhands there.
I mean, that one there, it's just such a good point for Arraya. They don't know how to attack him. It becomes, you're not sure where to hit it. He goes for more on the
5-4,
overhead. He goes for the
Arraya
cut
Parsons.
and just makes
Okay.
the error.
By Parsons, the match on Araya's paddle.
Serve is good.
6-4
Serve
then.
called out, reversed by chair umpire Tom Safford, and that takes us to double match point.
6-4.
All right, if I were McNerney, and I'd take a second here. I have him a little fast. Yeah, good. Walk around a little. Take a second. I like what McNerney's doing there. All right, great screen drive there. That he's shown.
5 serving 6.
Wow, Arraya is stunned by that miss.
And match point number 2.
Wild
off the
forehand from
desk,
Arraya.
and like we said, the deck return for
6-0.
Arraya has not been there this tournament. Oh, how about that? Quick turn of events there, Mark.
Look at that body language from Arraya, head down over against the side wires.
We had a missed volley, missed return, and a missed volley. 3 points in a row, about a 30-second turnaround.
Then
6
set
serving
point
7.
to Czerwinski McNerney. You know, one of the advantages they've had is they've had the benefit of Czerwinski returning the odd points here.
Wow, great volley from Parsons. Spike. Ryan not afraid to hit his shots in the big moment. Oh my goodness, he tries for the winning volley. Poach. See, that's a case of doing something a little different when you need to play the big tight point.
What I was saying earlier is return of serve is obviously so important in this game. And with Araya's inability to hurt them on return of serve and Czerwinski doing it consistently.
Play by.
Great play by McNerney there.
He reads it. That high backhand is something he feels comfortable with.
8 serving 7.
Set point number 2. Love to see a third set, Brad, wouldn't you?
Oh, it'd be amazing. What a drive. He's going to track it down. Oh, boy!
Parsons misses a routine overhead, and we're going 3.
Game, set.
Wow.
To Czerwinski and McNerney.
Okay, we'll be back with the third set in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA Network, presented by eNet Live.
Give a little bit.
At Amazon, we've got millions of toys and games to choose from this holiday for kids of all ages, with free shipping on over 100 million items. So visit Amazon and give a little love this holiday.
You're about to witness one of the fastest sports in the world, with a ball traveling at speeds close to 200 miles per hour.
Execution. Determination.
Sacrifice.
Fearless.
Discipline.
Passion. You have to be a little crazy. The ball's moving up to 200 miles an hour. I'm trying to push it to 3.
At Amazon, we've got millions of toys and games to choose from this holiday for kids of all ages, with free shipping on over 100 million items. So visit Amazon and give a little love this holiday.
Welcome back to the APTA Grand Prix Series. We're about to start the third and final set of the final match between Arraya Parsons and Czerwinski McNerney. You know, Brad, we talk often about fortune favoring the bold, but we also discuss making judicious decisions at the big moments in time. And we saw Graham McNerney on both sides of that line. He stepped forward at 7-all in the breaker, read the shot, hit the high backhand, and the shot that kind of turned the break around, and they won the next point.
Yeah, but we also saw within that too, you know, Arraya and Parsons playing this incredible level of paddle to get back into the match, right?
Love 15.
And then all of a sudden, inexplicably, it's missed volley, missed return, missed volley, and then basically 5 out of the next 6 points. They
All
lose,
from Arraya.
for the most part. You know, so you see these things come and they go. Great little cut, long backhand there. The variety of Arraya never
15
ceases
all.
to amaze, but and it turned on a dime just like that. There's that huge Czerwinski forehand.
And McNerney stepped in front of it to hit a short lob.
I don't think he meant to hit a short lob.
30-15.
He certainly meant to step in front of it.
That I'll agree with. I'd like to see McNerney look for a few more balls in this set, here and there.
Yeah, he's had success when he's done it. That's the surprising thing.
I think, you know, McNerney is a pretty complete player at this point. You can see he's got a little bit of everything. He's a great lobber, generally stays within and control. He's doing the right things out there. Great volleyer, reliable serve. So every facet of the game he can do. But he's got to look for the right opportunities here and there in the backcourt when they present themselves.
Well, I don't imagine Arraya Parsons are going to spot him a 5-1 lead this set.
Now we'll see if they can take one on their own then. So the up spinner there when he clearly could have driven that ball.
Great lobbing again from McNerney.
He's got it. Great touch. Oh! Arraya's
30 off.
got to be feeling a little down. See, is it worse to make that comeback to 6-all and then have those set points and lose it, or would it have been better to just lose that set at 6-1?
Definitely one or the other.
It's very helpful. I think, you know,
You could argue it either way.
yeah, I guess you can.
A
40,
rare
30.
forehand miss that doesn't at the top of the tape from Czerwinski. Well, he's played great. Big return from McNerney there.
That's what I
Why-
want to see, though.
Why sometimes, but not others, do we see that from McNerney? Any guesses?
I think it's one of those things where it's hard to change the line between going for more when you're trying to be consistent or not. Now it's early in the set. He feels like he can let loose a little. The points aren't as tight.
Advantage McNerney.
They're not down. He can afford to go for more to try and press it forward to get a lead here. But then he gets down a little, and when you're down, it feels like you can't take that strike and miss it. So he won't take it.
And he misses that one. Won another hands
Deuce.
battle with Arraya at the deuce point. There's the right shot to hit, just didn't pull it off.
McNerney is good in the hands battle. He's got good hands.
McNerney's good everywhere. I'd like that one back.
That's an opportunity
Advantage, Arraya.
Czerwinski set him up with. That's the one I want to see, though. Steps out on the wire.
Again, McNerney stepped up side
He
wire a
started to
little
move.
bit
I
there.
mean, I will say in that one there, you want to make sure your lob's deep enough so you have enough
Game
time to
Arraya,
get there
Parsons,
before the
they
guy
lead
puts it
1
behind you.
game to
But
love, third set.
I like the move, of the idea behind it.
A few missed forehands there from Czerwinski. I don't think fatigue's going to be a factor for either of these teams.
They seem fresh. I don't see any of it out there.
I like the body language from Arraya. He's very good at forgetting his mistakes. It happens so frequently that he's really improved at forgetting them. Okay, Czerwinski to serve. Love 1, final set.
Boom. Do you remember in that first set when Parsons was unloading on forehands, backhands, the works?
Yep.
Good job by McNerney and Czerwinski to give him less of those balls to unload on.
Great lob from Arraya, and here comes the backhand. Nope, it's over the fence.
Nope, not coming.
Not coming. Just short of the 2-hour mark, in what's really been a match filled with spectacular points.
Yeah, it's been a great tournament. Some fun. It's fun to see Granchero and Wilkinson back on the court together.
You impressed by the level of play we've seen? First Grand Prix of the year?
Love 15.
Level's been good. It's like you said before. You know, it's a higher level. You think you're feeling out a lot more out here, but it feels like a later season type of match. Yeah, I agree.
Recovery from Parsons there. Just great patience for the league player out there. Just look how long he waited for that.
Oh, such good hands there.
Parsons asked if he was over the net.
5-all.
Tom Safford said it was legal play.
Getting a little waterfalls here. Give him some dunks. A little different feel on these. Interesting.
Parsons cheats up the side wire.
That's the problem with one too many of those. Eventually, guys
15,
going to
30.
come forward.
Too
and
predictable.
Yep. I mean, I don't mind throwing it in there because you got to give a guy different looks, but that was like 7 out of 9 overheads as dunks. Gosh, that's great hands. So good from McNerney
Tremendous
there.
play from McNerney.
30-all. $40, $30.
A little long?
Just missed it.
Just missed it. Ah! McNerney moved over to look like he was taking the volley, and he let it go through. And it just
Through being the apt word, Brett.
and it just hit Czerwinski. I mean, if I were Czerwinski, I would have been stunned too.
Yeah. Ball's going out.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Czerwinski's got the best serve in the country for a right-hander.
jinx him here, but I don't think he's faulted the entire day. I don't remember a single fault.
No, just firing him in there, as I said earlier. And then some really big points.
I wouldn't say it's undrivable, you know, but they're definitely not hurting him that badly. He gets in behind it nicely. Arraya definitely is off with his drive today on that deck drive.
Czerwinski's thrown in a lot of good serves. Jared Palmer's serve is awfully good over there.
That's a nice ball from McNerney, stepping it up this game.
Advantage, Czerwinski.
So he's giving him the signal behind the back. What do you think he's telling him there, Mark?
Please get the serve in the box.
Well, he's been pretty reliable on that one. He's telling him where he's moving and if he's moving one direction or another, and also where to serve.
And Arraya gets beat again. Looks at Parsons. I'm not sure what he's looking at Parsons
He's
for.
looking at Parsons and say, hey, you're back there, I'm coming up. But that was pretty good volley. You're going to make it move that fast. Not even a quick partner might be able to get there. You see McNerney starting to dominate at the net a little bit here.
Araya's got to get over and take a poke at one of those waterfall overheads. Try and spike one. She's so far to the middle of the court, similar to Czerwinski. There's not much of an opportunity to do so.
Now they've done a much better job, Czerwinski and McNerney, giving him less opportunities. And also when they do give him something, either, you know, closing it off, getting back in there and making the volley. Just letting it go through, so giving them less errors up there. Remember in that first set, they were struggling at the net. They've got a much better rhythm now. That's a kill right there from McNerney.
Love 15.
McNerney's stepping it up the last 4 or 5 points. Great playing. Great placement lob there from McNerney. Lobbing very well. Ball, we got to see him set up, hit. See Arraya mixing it up there. They went it to the 1 off 1 back. Now they're both back at the net.
Just a stupid attempt at the drop shot from Arraya on a hard ball.
And then to stay at the net there, I'd just go back. You got to chase that next one down. All right. McNerney is playing well here. Keeps this up. Ah.
15-30.
McNerney moves so well for a big guy.
Hey, he floats long. I mean, he is very rangy.
Tremendous pickup from Parsons to stay in this point.
What a get. Oh, I
Wide.
think he missed it wide.
Nope, caught the line.
Ooh. Smart there. He
Yeah,
doesn't
great
overdo it.
transition play. Then he pushes the envelope a little hard there.
30 all.
Little aggressive, but not terrible.
No.
Made that shot before.
The only difference there is he wasn't really anticipating that one. The other one, he was looking for it. I guess that's the biggest difference there.
Parsons misses the backhand, break point.
30, 40.
I don't know where Czerwinski was going on that one.
So if they stay this way, we both found them to be better with McNerney in the backhand side and the outside. Nice.
You just get the feeling Czerwinski's trying to survive over there. And the
Deuce.
lobs are so much inferior to the ones McNerney's throwing up that
Yep.
I don't understand why they're not switching at first opportunity.
Almost, but
But again, great movement from McNerney for a big
Managed
guy.
Parsons.
yeah, you almost had it. I mean, it's one of those rare mishits from Czerwinski there to cut McNerney. He's pressing forward a little because Czerwinski's return is so good. That time it wasn't.
Yeah. His first mishit in about 50 tries.
He's got a huge forehand. It's just like a pure ball.
Yeah, everything else is just dead center of the paddle. It's a thing of beauty.
Thwack.
Thwack?
Thwack. Thwack.
Kelly wanted to know how to spell that before, so
That's
thank
why I
you.
was helping him out there.
Again, some real short lobbing from Arraya Parsons getting into trouble.
Great rip there and an even better volley there from McNerney. Oh!
McNerney and Czerwinski have volleyed exceptionally well.
Extremely well. Perfect pace and close there by Arraya. Beautiful hold there.
Game
That was
Arraya Parsons.
a game that
2
Czerwinski
games
and
to 1.
McNerney were
Third
so
set.
close to taking. Nice job.
Winning those games, that's going to winning those points is going to determine who wins and loses this match and this tournament.
Are there any other ramifications, Mark?
A couple of points in the Blanchard Cup,
There we go.
ranking points. And then, of course, your respect, Brad, which is the highest form of currency that I know of.
I thought that's the only thing they were playing for.
Okay, McNerney to serve. 1-2 final set. Last time he served, it was at 5-all in the second set, and it was one of his few holds of the match. I think he's only held twice the entire match. I like you bring paddle to the tournament, Brad.
I'm holding it here. I'm starting
It's like bringing your baseball glove to a
to a baseball
you
game.
bring
I
your
got my
to the
paddle
tournament.
right out here. I was hitting some with Timo before. Now on our little changeovers here, I'm doing a little practice here in my my chair and in my booth here.
Yeah, court's not that wide. Great play again from
Above
Parsons.
15.
Well, that transition ball that he can hit down, it forces you, because Arraya at any moment could be shooting forward. He actually wasn't that time, but McNerney tried to push it away from him, makes the error.
Oh, what a shot from Arraya.
These hands, so much better than I imagined. Very good up there.
There's a better lob from Arraya.
McNerney, Czerwinski are volleying so well, particularly McNerney.
Great anticipation.
They're like a wall up there right now.
Yep.
And they're volleying so well and giving them so few looks that it's hard now for Arraya. And you see Parsons just kind of swatting that forehand. But it seemed more desperate than controlled. Like, how do we win a point against these guys?
There was no thwack there.
Oh, a little confusion there. It's okay, they'll track it back and play from the backcourt. That's a big forehand there from McNerney. It's the ball to hit.
Right shot, just
15,
catches the
30.
top of the tape.
Oh.
A little late coming to the net. Made the
15,
volley
40.
just a little more difficult. Parsons was aware of it and caught him. Great slash from McNerney.
You can see when that ball comes up in short, how he changes his grip over, creates a severe angle on the paddle to be able to cut under and through that ball.
Got to have one of the best overheads in the game, Brad.
It's an excellent overhead. He's got some variety. He's got the cut shots. Oh, what pace. Perfect pace over there from Czerwinski. Oh!
Tremendous volley from McNerney. So Parsons winding up,
Jeez.
Arraya's at the net, and he just stuck it.
But what he did, that I'll say makes sense, because we talk about the fact that maybe you shouldn't be doing that up there when Parsons is hit. He got right on top
Right
of the
on
net,
top of the
so
net.
he couldn't volley up. He had to volley down, and he put it away. And in that way, that's how you can combat it. There's the tweener. Nice.
Let's take a look at that one again if they win this game. No, they're switched.
You mean if they don't win this game, we're not going to look at it?
No.
Oh, all right.
So again, they just get stuck in this position. They seem like they're 0 for 12.
Parsons.
All right, add out here. Nice. Arraya Parsons playing solid.
Really hate to lose those 540 games, which is what this was for Arraya Parsons. This would be huge if Czerwinski and McNerney can come back and win this game.
Oh, finds
Right
the
on the right
forehand
hip.
volley. Great shot.
Perfectly struck and placed by
Game,
Mark
Arraya
Parsons.
They
But
lead
again,
3 games
why
to
the
1.
hard
Third
overhead to
set.
Parsons? That's the one you just got to hit soft down the middle.
Great shot there.
3-1 Arraya Parsons. Just no angle at all for that
15.
shot. Araya's kind of wondering, why did I do that? Stupido.
It's stupido. Love it. And that's the danger of that hard serve in there. I'm not sure why you wouldn't take a little pace off it, hit
30.
a three-quarter one over to that backhand side.
Especially given how little he's attacked the forehand off the deck.
I agree. It's a great blitz there.
don't like that down and up overhead from Arraya. Gets way too many of those to the deuce side.
$15.30.
There you go. Trying to get a little positive footwork in there for McNerney. He knows he made a little bit of a lapse, a little mental error on that missed ball.
Big forehand there. A couple of great returns from McNerney.
15.40.
Chance to get back on serve. Oh, he's been impressive, Brad. Oh. Brian made that look routine.
It's a great volley. Watch your neck.
You gonna call Knicks now, Brad?
Calling him from here.
Just not finish that shot, Brad?
No, he just pulled up on it.
30,
Instead of just
40.
coming over and through it.
It's so many good forehands. Took a little bit off that one, didn't come out quite as far.
Oh, great dig from Czerwinski. They are keeping it away from that Czerwinski forehand. They're going to make McNerney beat him with some big drives back there. So if he goes in there, he does, and of course, in a weird way, that's a design play for Parsons. He's going to hit it in there and back up at the same time. Oh, I love it. Great dig from Czerwinski.
Tremendous athleticism from all four players. Just another great point.
So good, he held that lob.
Every point is being won by a high quality shot.
Wow. Tough playing here. This is a great point.
What a lob, Arraya.
Oh,
Just
what a
great
point.
Stuff. Well, this is fun
Dude.
to watch, Brad. I don't think we need a highlight film the rest of the year. These
One,
Phillies giving us everything we need.
And this is a high quality points here. I mean, that's a great point. Not one bad shot, or you could say that last choice was a bad choice, but it's 100 balls into it. You know, he probably should have lobbed it up. He's moving back a little, but what a point.
Advantage McNerney.
Stride Parsons, Arraya haven't done a little bit more Australian against Czerwinski.
Czerwinski, I agree.
Parsons with the drop shot. I didn't know he had that shot.
Working on it. Well read there by Arraya.
Tremendous. I'd ask for a
Dude.
replay, but we've got 27 other
47
shots.
other
we could
replays,
have
right, that we
replays
can
on.
do. Yep.
Okay, now they're going into the I formation as we discussed.
Oh, it hit the seam and came into him a little.
Or he's saying it hit the seam and it came into him a little.
Head out.
Yes, one of those.
the 5th game point for Czerwinski McNerney. They need to close this game.
And these guys are battling here. It's 3 o'clock now. The match started around 12:30. Little break in between the sets. We're definitely well over 2 hours for this match. Great lob. And not the right play there.
Parsons makes a mistake and they get the break back.
The problem in that one is the ball's coming
Game,
so
Czerwinski,
slow over Parsons
McNerney,
that it gives them so much time
Arraya
to get right on
Parsons
top of the
lead 3
net.
games to
Yep.
2.
Got it.
Third
If the
set.
ball's moving faster off the screen, they have less time to get there. Then it's okay. All right, but incredible quality points there, Mark. Now, like you said, we talked about a little bit before, we are missing the 2 top teams from last year, but I get the feeling, like in the past 6 or 7 years, it seems like 1 or 2 teams have dominated, you know, and run through the year. We had years where Parsons and Durrett didn't lose a match. I feel like it's a little more wide open this year, but I guess we'll have to wait and see until those top 2 teams come out.
Well, I was about to ask you, having been as impressed as I am with Czerwinski McNerney and not knowing if they're playing a full season together, what do you think their upside is?
Oh, I think their upside is relatively unlimited.
Think they could win a nationals this year?
This year, I would probably say no, but it's a little more wide open, everything is, than it was in the past. That's how I look at it. You know, I think McNerney's going to, he's lobbing, he's doing everything well. He's going to have to figure out a little more offense in various spots. Volleys, everything else is good enough.
Well,
So
we'll have to see.
they're right there.
See the top 2 teams in the country.
30 love.
Who were head and shoulders above everybody last year.
Yep.
Especially Hughes and Powers, who I don't think lost a match from November on.
Yeah, they made adjustments. They dealt with, I mean, it was, I don't want to say it was similar to what we saw from Burst and Stojsavljevic, but they lost early on to those teams, you know, to the top teams. And each time they lost, they figured out a new thing. And then by the end, they won, what, 6 tournaments in a row?
Great exchange, followed by a let cord winner.
40 love.
And you figure if Boris and Stojsavljevic can continue their progression, they'll be closer into the mix.
Oh, another amazing volley from McNerney.
Very rangy volleyer too. He's one of these guys who can easily transfer forehand to backhand as well.
Let's see if they can win this point. They're about 0 for 12, and they're caught on
This formation.
Swing and miss?
That's my forehand.
swing and a miss.
He's going up the wire. Czerwinski will do that. Oh, such good hands. You see the one up, one back, and Parsons moving in. Surprised he volleyed that and not went back.
Yep.
Got stuck halfway in between. He's usually better about getting in or getting all the way back. Sort of in the middle there.
No chance to make that volley. 3-all. Well, they just have not had an answer to the Czerwinski return of serve.
Not sure what the answer is. I mean, you can serve it down the middle with a little more spin and control, but he's got a great forehand.
Well, I'd rather see him be hitting the ball down the middle than the angles.
I agree.
So you can get that from him. And excuse me, that's a much easier ball to play off the back wire. So me, I'd go to the I formation and serve hard down the tee.
There we go. Love that return from McNerney.
Incidentally, McNerney missed a volley last point. I want to make a note of that because it's been about an hour since he missed another volley. Catches the nick on the slash. 15-all.
15-all.
Good spin in there.
Czerwinski, McNerney really have the Momo right now, which means they're not, doesn't mean they're going to have it next point.
They're starting to volley so well.
Arraya almost ran into Parsons there. Parsons was waiting for the ball.
30-15.
I find this set different than the other one. You know, when the comebacks were made, it was based on errors from the other teams starting it. Right now, it's just a lot of good play, you know? And it's just who's able to execute or make a better shot or an occasional loose error, but it's too many bad choices or bad errors out here. Just good plays. Who's going to outplay the other? Love seeing that. Oh, great dig off that shot in the crease.
If I was doing our keys to victory right now, Brad, I think that one of the ones for Arraya Parsons is to get Czerwinski to hit more overheads.
Yep, I think you're right. They can't get him off the net very well. I mean, they're volleying great.
So when Czerwinski's hitting the overheads, they're getting some swings. McNerney's overhead is terrific, and they're not getting a lot of swings off of it.
Yeah, I would definitely say that, you know, McNerney and Czerwinski's ability to control their lob is definitely better than Arraya and Parsons at this point. They place it, set it up there into certain spots in the court. Good lob. There it is. Well done.
Catches the nick. 30 all.
30 all.
3 all.
point.
30 all. Final set.
For the
For the most part, reliable serving, but fault there. Break point. Great placement. Ooh.
There's a questionable drive from Parsons.
Wide.
Sitter, Parsons misses a wide.
How about
and they're
that?
up a break.
3-1 down, up to
Correct.
4-3.
game, Czerwinski,
And
McNerney,
like we were
they
talking
lead
about,
4 games to 3. Final
It's
set.
now going to be just the execution of, can they get these guys off the net? Can they get Czerwinski to hit more overheads, right? We're not seeing the errors creep in like we did in the past, right? Where they're creeped in, the other team starts making a run. What we're seeing is really solid paddle out there. Very little place to hit the ball where your opponents aren't returning it. The attacks are all blunted with good positioning and good volleys. So you got to be able to lob a little more precisely, get the guys a little more off the court. Be able to get more, overheads to Czerwinski. And if McNerney keeps hitting that forehand, got a good chance of closing this thing out.
New ball.
Okay. McNerney to serve, 4-3, final set with a new ball.
I like McNerney's serve too. He comes in, right leg through, cuts it.
Great volley.
Wow, that's right. Oh, he held Arraya there for a second. Nice play. This net play up there, amazing.
Czerwinski and McNerney's volleying has been sublime this match. Great slash there from McNerney.
You're seeing
Beats him.
McNerney's overhead
15
taking
up.
effect. He's gotten Parsons 3-4 times.
They've really mitigated or negated the return of serve from Parsons and Arraya.
It's hard not to say
30 love.
Durant
Hard not to say
Parsons.
Durant
It's hard not to say these things, yeah.
But you see that Czerwinski putting so much pressure on them, and neither Arraya nor Parsons is returning serve real well right now. And part of it is the good serving for Czerwinski.
And the good solid play. When your opponents play so solid, it makes you feel like you have to do more to possibly win a point. Look at that. It's amazing.
Ball is good.
Volley was good. All right, Arraya calls it out, landed right on the line.
40 love. It's also a factor of, I think, that Czerwinski
40 love.
and McNerney have done a much better job of shifting formations at the net, take away some of the good swings.
Look at that. That is just great play.
Game, Czerwinski, McNerney.
And I can't say it was like loose errors.
They
It's
lead
almost
5
like,
games to
what do we
3,
have to
third
do to win a
set.
point there from Arraya and Parsons?
Yep.
Ah,
Keeping their record intact of losing
15
each point
up.
when they're switched to the backcourt.
$30 love.
Yeah, I think this is a much better formation for them. Of course, it doesn't matter what formation you're in if you fault.
30-15.
But that's the pressure that Czerwinski's brought to bear with his forehand.
it's great forehand. All right.
2 points from the
30 all.
match.
30 all.
One point from the match.
30-40.
By Arraya Parsons playing very fast, Brad.
Yeah, when they should be tightening it up, they are getting a little loose here. But like we talked about, I mean, McNerney and Czerwinski playing very well. Oh, on match point down. How do you hold that ball and
Arraya.
sling it behind him there? That was incredible.
Deuce.
Curls that racket underneath the ball, pulls it out behind him there. Great shot.
A rare miss from Czerwinski.
Wow.
Takes us to game point.
Advantage
Game
Arraya.
point from match point to game point. Well, we should have a fitting ending to this great match.
And that would be a third set tiebreak.
I think that's where I was going with it, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Deuce.
This may be the last game. But just the thwack on that forehand caused the error there from
Hard to
Parsons.
control the pace.
Arraya with a crazy decision there. Takes
Match
us to
point
match point number
number
2.
Advantage
two.
McNerney.
Money with that backhand drive. Just it wide.
Slash, game, set,
There it
match.
is,
Game,
Mark. I
set,
tell you,
match.
what a great match by
Czerwinski,
McNerney and
McNerney.
Czerwinski. To me, it just lends credence to the thing we were talking about before. It's a more wide open year, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought they played really well. We're going to try and get a post-match interview with our winners. But I got to say that the net play from McNerney
2-6,
Czerwinski was absolutely
7-6,
exceptional.
6-3.
They volleyed great. They missed virtually nothing. And McNerney's overhead was really the shot that controlled the court more than anything else. Just tremendous play. It's early in the year, but for Arraya Parsons, that's a tough loss from 6-4 in the breaker. Arraya kind of lost his poise a little bit. Took a couple of big swings. Especially the return at 6-5. He just kind of slapped it, missed it by a lot. Just lost his poise a little bit. But it's early. They played well. They did a lot of good things. And who wins the Philly Open is important, but these guys are all playing for one thing. They're playing for nationals. And at Nationals, you're working towards building a product that's going to win there. But talking about Czerwinski McNerney, you got to be real impressed. That's back-to-back NRT victories for Graham McNerney. Really has established himself as one of the top players in the game. Volleyed great and generated some offense on some big points from some good spots on the court. Made a lot of really good decisions. Just fun to watch, fun to be part of. Really bodes well for a tremendous season in the APTA Grand Prix Series. The APTA Grand Prix Series. There's going to be lots of really good paddle. I want to take a couple of thank yous right now before we go. Scott Falatek, Greg Bowser, Ann Sheedy, Shannon Vincent. I also want to remind everybody that from here, the next event, the Grand Prix Series, is Chicago, November 2nd to 4th. Then Cincinnati, from January 11th to 13th. Mark Keeby and his team usually do a great job there. Boston, January 25th to 27th. Genius Chedrodnatsky. And then we're going to be at the Short Hills Club in New Jersey, February 9th through the 11th. Okay, so we got Brad lining up an interview with our winners. See what they have to say. Okay, we're throwing it down to Brad now with Czerwinski and McNerney.
I'm here with our winners of our first Grand Prix of the year, the Philadelphia Open, Graham McNerney and Marek Czerwinski. Congratulations, guys, on an incredible tournament and a great match. I mean, that first set went quickly. They beat you, right? And then you guys made some adjustments there. It looked like you were struggling at the net, but then, and you were always doing okay in the backcourt, but by the end, you made the adjustments. Had you taken the overheads, you gave them less opportunities, and you guys volleyed incredibly by the back. Now, what discussions did you have to make these adjustments?
So I think we came in there with a good game plan, which is don't give Mark Parsons backhands, and if we do, bail. But then when you get in the heat of the moment and you see that side screen, you just really want to go there. But you got to remember it's not open. It's just like Drew and Mark, the side screen's never open. So we just gave him too many. So we thought we liked the flow of the points, but we just told ourselves if we can just cut down on those overheads where we leave him sitting, and if we do hit him, just back up, play transition, or just reset, because we were, like you said, we were doing fine from the backcourt. So I think it was just stick to the game plan, minor adjustment, and keep it going.
Now, Mark, everybody knows you got a world of talent, but the big knock has been what decisions are you going to make? Seems like your decisions out there were great. You were thumping forehands. Didn't see any one-handed backhands today. No. Were you really working on trying to curb those decision-making or making a stronger decision process out there?
Like, just keep everyone guessing, you know? I like to just make sure that it's either 50 in the same match or 0. So, you know, no, I think these guys they just played honestly really, really well. They really forced that out of us. I was just telling Graham after this match, I was like, that felt like February. You know, that felt like right before Nationals. That's the quality of matches that we hope to have, and to have that early in the season in the first Grand Prix, that was awesome right there. And kudos to them to play that well and force us into playing, really focusing the way that we had to. So.
That's great. So you're saying that actually the quality of your opponents actually forced your play to rise. And we saw that in the booth as well, that really at the end you guys had locked down the net, had dried up the errors, and it was just a tremendous match. So we know you've played with a lot of partners in the past. Is this a partnership we're going to see more of this year?
Yeah, we're going to play Milwaukee and Charity, so we got a couple more and we'll go from there. But, I mean, when you play like that, it's hard not to want to play more. It's fun.
Yeah, Mark, any final thoughts?
That's right. Nothing special. That was it. It was awesome. Thanks for coming and watching on over here. This is a pretty fun crowd over here. We got a little rowdy. It's awesome.
Well, thanks, guys, for an incredible high-quality match. Congratulations again to our winners, Graham McNerney, Mark Czerwinski. And that's a wrap, delivered by Uline. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Welcome to the APTA Grand Prix Tour presented by our national sponsors Viking and Uline. We are live at the Philadelphia Cricket Club on the APTA network presented by eNet Live. I'm Jerry Viant along with Lauren Mandel and Lisa Rudloff, and we're about to see the women's final between the number 3 seeds, Liz Cruz, who is the Director of Racket Sports at the Patterson Club, and Miriam Warner, her partner, and her twin sister, who is a rackets professional at the Indian Hill Club. And they're playing against the number 2 seeds, Floor Hanisch, who is the rackets professional at the Westchester Country Club, and her partner, Annika van Starrenburg, who lives in Bedford, New York, and they were the national champions in 2017. So, Lauren, we have an exciting match. Why don't you take us through the players?
Okay, on the near side of the court on your screen are Liz Cruz and Miriam Warner, and if they look similar to you, that's because they're twins. On the deuce court is Miriam Warner, and she and her sister play very similar games. They both really move the ball around well. They do everything well. They're quick. They're smart. They place the ball exactly where they want it. On the ad court in the red vest is Liz Cruz, and she's won nationals, and she's really sort of coaching her sister through their first tournament together. On the other side of the court are the national champions of 2 years ago, and on the deuce court is Florentina Hanisch, and she has a big drive, big forehand, and she likes to close into the net, and her partner Annika van Starrenburg swoops across to hit backhands and covers the net with her very long arms and makes the court look very small. And I'm looking forward to a really good match today.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the draw. See how the players got here. And Lisa, you want to talk us through that?
All right, in their first match, Hanisch van Starrenburg had against Lyon and Sakura. Looked like a tight first set, but it looks like they figured out what their strategy was and won that second set 6-2. In their semifinal match with Garreau and Mollevend, looks like they took them handily. I believe that they played them in the Patterson tournament before and lost to them. So this was
revenge.
Yeah.
It was a sweet revenge.
A little bit of revenge, and it looks like they figured out their plan and talked it out and took that match handily. And now let's take a look at Cruz and Warner in their quarterfinal match with Delmonica Gebbia. Gebbia is just back on the tour. Played with Kerry for a few years before, and now she's back. Again, looks like they had a tough first set, but definitely figured out with that 6-0 victory, 7-6, 6-0 victory. In their semifinal match, which we live streamed yesterday, there was a few bumps in the beginning, and Barrett and Annika did have a good couple games, some runs. They kept it close, but in the end, Cruz and Warner took it 6-4, 7-5.
All right, and it's a perfect day for paddling, guys. It is 49 degrees and cloudy. We did have some rain come through this morning, so we pushed the women final back a little bit, but now we've got spectacular weather. And let's take a look at the Viking keys to winning.
So Cruz and Warner have to stop Hanisch van Starrenburg from blitzing. That's their play. That's what they love to do. They have to keep them back and keep them off the net as best as they can. They also want to avoid Annika's backhand period, I think, especially the high one, because she just likes to hit down on it and swoop into the blitz. That's two things they can avoid right there. And they have to stay patient. Their game is frustrating other players by moving the ball around and placing it exactly where they want, and they just have to stay patient and try to take Hanisch van Starrenburg out of their game plan.
Yeah, we'll be watching that, see if they're successful or not, because Hanisch van Starrenburg like to play fast, want those balls, and they're really going to have to buckle down. And Hanisch van Starrenburg,
they are liking the strategy of staying back on their serve. They feel like it's helping them not miss so many serves, trying to get in to make good first volleys, takes the pressure off the first volley, and both Warner and Cruz are such good returners that they're going to continue to do that. And they're going to look for opportunities to create some havoc in transition. If they stay back and Cruz and Warner try to come in, they're going to try to make them miss that transition volley, which is a very tough volley. And they're also, very importantly, going to try to keep the ball out of the ad side back screen, because Liz Cruz likes to take that ball and hit down on it and drive it, and it's very hard to make that volley. So those are three key points for Hanisch van Starrenburg.
Philadelphia Open.
All right, we have umpire Tom Safford
Beautiful
in the
day
chair.
here in Philadelphia. We have a match between Florentina Hanisch and Annika van Starrenburg. They will be playing Liz Cruz and Marion Warner. Florentina and Annika won the toss. They have elected to receive.
No surprise there on the electing to receive.
When you're ready, ladies. Pick a good ball. We'll use that ball for 7.
Yep, they will be changing the balls every 7 games. All right, so this is obviously there's no head-to-head record because the sisters, this is the first national ranking tournament that they've played together, and you will hear a lot of chatter. Liz Cruz is 10 minutes older than her sister, and she is the leader on the court. She's also a national champion. Miriam Cruz is a national ranked player, but she's Warner, but she's not won a national ranking tournament, so she's really taking the cues from her sister, and you will see there is a lot of communication.
Yesterday, I thought Liz Cruz was going to be exhausted at the end of the first set of her quarterfinal match because she was talking her sister through every single point, and you know what? She did a really good job of it.
So Liz Cruz is serving and staying back. Cruz is in the red vest. And that's the play that Hanisch van Starrenburg are going to look for every single time. Bring the ball down low with one of them going in behind.
They said they started this strategy yesterday with the sun because it was so difficult to see, and it worked so well in their semifinal match
formation.
That
Yes, they're very enamored of it now.
Right, and they decided to do it on the non-sunny side, and it worked for them.
15 all.
So both teams are going to be keeping it away from the ad side backcourt. Be interesting to see where the safe spot is, where they pick to put that overhead. And then you see the strategy of Flor Hanisch going in behind the ball and Annika staying back.
There's that backhand we were talking about.
Yeah.
She takes it so early and gets so far up into the court.
Right. Like you said, she's very imposing. It's a little scary seeing that on the other side. Great play. Wow.
So you can see it really changes the look of the court. So where do you go?
Where do you put the ball?
Flor Hanisch is sitting on top of the net, so she's going to try to pick off any ball that is high, and hopefully the play is to let the low balls go through, even though she could volley it, just let those low balls go through, and Annika will take it from the backcourt and try to drive those balls if they're coming in transition. So It's high risk, high reward.
That's the kind of game Hanisch, Ben Starrenburg want to play. Whack, 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 volley. Game was over in 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm. That shot worked yesterday against Warner in that corner when Roxy Anika did that shot to her. So I think that's a really smart play.
So Flora Hanisch is starting. Annika van Starrenburg staying to her left. She's on the ad court player, so that keeps them in their position without having to switch.
There's that backhand.
There's the
not
swoop.
The play.
There's the play.
Mm-hmm.
Cruz and Warner did well to deflect it. I think Cruz and Warner have decided early on that they want none of this staying back business, that they're going to try to take the net and then worry about the volleys in transition and just try to get up there.
Flora is such a quick, Hanisch is such a quick player. She can get, when she feels that she's got a good ground stroke, she can get right into the net fast. She doesn't want anything dropping below that net.
40-15.
Tight she is to that net, Hanisch.
All right, so Hanisch van Starrenburg are off to a quick 2-love lead, and there'll be a lot of chatting here with the sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to play the eye.
Hanisch loves that play, that drop-down drive and blitz into the net. It's one of her signature plays.
Football.
Oh. We saw that yesterday from Marion Cruz. Her front foot inches over the line.
Oh.
See, that's the tough part, when to let that ball go through when you're in that mode that you want to hit the volley, and now you're
and it's right to you.
Up.
Yeah, and
You're
it's right to you.
up.
30 all.
30 all.
It's a great spot.
Did a good job to close there. Flora Hanisch took a deep breath and closed, but that was too easy of a drive.
When you hit your overhead into that hard into the backside screen, it really, the advantage goes to the backcourt player. So Miriam Warner's got to get underneath that ball a little bit more. Right now, that's the go-to shot where she's made more errors, Miriam Warner, in this first couple of games than she made in the whole 2 sets yesterday. The speed of play is fast, which favors Hanisch van Starrenburg. Oh! Got a hold of that one.
It's like a drill.
That one she should have let go, huh? I mean, she made a good volley, but...
See, that's one on that kind of bloopy one. Cruz and Warner should think about coming into net.
Yeah, they've abandoned that a little bit. I don't know.
I mean, on the slower ones that Van Starrenburg is hitting.
Because they're just biding time until Hanisch can eventually do something up there. It's a tough return. That was curved in there.
Hanisch and Van Starrenburg. They lead 3 games.
Everyone is getting
love.
caught in those
First set.
in that two-side screen on the rollers.
Did I not say that to them this morning at breakfast? I said she gets caught. Because it was obvious that's what Lauren and Carrie were doing to her.
Hey, Lauren. Just because you muted yourself, she's not muted. So when you talk, it's coming through her.
So everyone just heard what I said?
Whatever you said about breakfast. It wasn't anything
I thought about it. I thought about how bad it was before I actually said it.
Love 15.
Okay, so Annika Van Starrenburg serving. Floor Hanisch, you can see, is down low at the net. And there's that transition.
Love 30.
A little fist pump from Liz Cruz. They need a little energy.
All right, there's a window here. Love 30 for Cruz and Warner.
Here we go, getting into that net.
They got the same lineup here. Now Miriam Warner is coming up with her partner. So they started with the one up, one back. And now they're starting to make an adjustment.
Love,
they're starting
40.
to change the look of the court. Big serve from Annika Van Starrenburg.
15-40.
5-40.
Wow. Great
Huge
spin.
kick, huh?
Yeah, that's a great
That ball
spin.
hit both those last two serves. Hit the court and broke to the right.
$30, $40.
That's that
Game,
big backhand
Cruz
volley. That's from the tennis, where you just want to go after that backhand volley rather than taking the pace off of it, and you want to hit that back straight, deep, and slow. So Cruz Warner on the board, 1-3. And that's a great angle. Look at Floor Hanisch is up close to net with her partner Annika Van Starrenburg staying back behind her.
That was a wide ball.
And on the men's side, we'll give you just an update on a really tough round of 32 with Stulak and Estes are up 4-3 against Gambino and Burka.
Hanisch is being very patient,
Love
letting those
30.
balls go by. It's forcing Cruz and Warner to really get around Hanisch, which is not an easy thing to do.
I mean, it really does change the look of the court
Right.
completely. Now you're trying to keep it away from the net player.
Right. I'm really enjoying watching this formation. There's that big backhand again by Van Starrenburg. She loves
15.
that shot. She's very tall.
Love
So she's
40.
got reach that much better than most. There's
Game
that blitz.
Hanisch and Van Starrenburg.
Van
They lead
Starrenburg,
4
again,
games to
tall.
1.
She's a
First
tall
set.
person. Somebody coming in blitzing like that, it's very intimidating. You feel like you have to make a great volley and go around them, and it forces the error.
Yep. Right now, it's all Hanisch Van Starrenburg. And we'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Viking Athletics. Is the premier brand and the undisputed leader in platform tennis. Viking is platform tennis. The Viking Extra Duty Platform Ball has been the #1 selling ball in the industry for the last 20 years. It is the official ball of the APTA Nationals and President's Cup, and of the Grand Prix Tour. Floor Hanisch serving. Again, staying back. And moving up to net. So we've got 3 back and 1 up.
Looks like
15 love.
Liz Cruz is trying to make things happen, and it's not. She likes to develop the points. This is, I think, a difficult formation for them. Great pickup by Cruz.
And I can see a lot of adjustments happening by both teams within the point, which is critical.
30 love.
This is when Annika Van Starrenburg was up to net and Floor was back, and Cruz and Warner took over the net. Van Starrenburg dropped back, so it took herself out of being a target.
Thirty 15.
Okay.
$30 all.
There's a slight different formation there with Liz Cruz at the service line and then going in.
40 30.
Do that depending on what kind of a return your partner hits. If you feel comfortable going in, or you can back up. There's that backhand from
40
Cruz
all.
again. Hanisch is hitting that below the net. It's a very difficult shot, but it's one of Liz Cruz's best shots.
That's a great angle. You can see all 4 players. You can see the transition that they're all having to make and adjust to each other. Switching, Floor Hanisch throws up a high lob. They change sides. I mean, really, Lisa, there's so much to look at that's different, right? This is not how we normally see 2 up and 2 back the whole time. And it's like, wow, what is happening here? nice sequence of deep lobs by Hanisch van Starrenburg, pulling Warner and then Cruz out of the service box.
Van Starrenburg wanted to go back. I think that was the longest point of the match.
Right, and that was more of that point was the traditional 2 up and 2 back.
Right.
It's a little more recognizable there, right?
That's what I like to see. There's a little more order, Jerry.
What's happening?
The 1 up, 1 back is a little disorganized for me, from my brain.
No, it's good
But
though.
It's great.
Exciting.
It's exciting because, you know, if you aren't successful with something, you shouldn't be doing the same thing. And they did it right off the bat. And they're up 4-1, Hanisch and Van Starrenburg. That drive for Liz is just really fantastic. It's a very hard thing to do. She holds it very well with a 2-handed backhand. It's very hard to read where 2-handed backhanders are hitting the ball. Also enjoy that double drive sequence when Van Starrenburg hits that drive. Florentina Hanisch hits it as well. You're transitioning, you're a little off balance, and right away Hanisch
really
hits that drive.
A lot of patience here,
they lead
willingness to move that ball around. Update from our roving reporter, Timo. We've got Stulek Estes have won the first set 6-3 over Gambino Burka. That is a tough round of 32. On the men's side.
Yeah. Some great paddle players on that court. So Hanisch got in that ad court, in the court that she's not normally playing in, and sometimes when she gets stuck there, it looks like she wants to pull the trigger and get out of there a little too fast.
Liz Cruz did well to hit that volley back deep and fast at her, kind of sped it up.
Right, and sometimes it's hard when the opponents change sides like that. You try to have to remember, wait, where's their strength? Where's their strength? Good controlled drive by Van Starrenburg. Okay, let's see what their strategy is here. Hanisch is up. They did that seamless switch.
That was a little scary overhead there.
Again, the drive sequence.
Warner serving and staying back.
Good communication, because Hanisch got pulled off a little bit.
You know, all 4 players, I was just going to say that on your point, Lisa, all 4 players, there's a lot happening on the court right now. There's a lot of transition paddle, and you've got to be seamless with your partner to pull this off. You can't be hesitating. You've got to know which ball to let go. You've got to know when to throw up the high lob to get your partner, you know, back settled. And all 4 players, I don't see a hesitation or a miscommunication at all.
And I don't even hear a lot of chatter. They're just doing it. They know. So that's a really nice over. Different change pace over, a little higher ball to Liz Cruz's forehand.
So a couple of set points here for Hanisch van Starrenburg.
That's tough.
Tough
let
is,
court.
First set.
Game
6-1. That was
Van
30 minutes of
Starrenburg
excitement.
Yeah.
Like
I said there's a lot going on here, and it's really fun to watch. But I think Van Starrenburg and Hanisch had this game plan walking out on the court. They did it from the first point, and they kept doing it. Only every once in a while did they change that formation. But
all right, well, we'll be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA Network presented by eNet Live.
I'm pulling my way.
When it's your job to protect the world's greatest nation, it's your responsibility to solve the world's greatest challenges. This is why we search for the best and brightest, why we train for every eventuality, on land and water, in the air, space, and even cyberspace. We operate in a complex world with one simple mission: win.
All right, so welcome back to the start of the second set. This is the women's final in the Philadelphia Open, the first stop on our Grand Prix tour, and we just saw a red-hot number 2 seeds, Floor Hanisch, Annika van Starrenburg, take the first set 6-1.
Right.
Over Liz Cruz and her sister Miriam Warner. So, Lisa, what do you think Warner and Cruz have to do? Slow this down.
They do. The problem is Van Starrenburg and Hanisch really took them out of their game. Yeah, I think they've got to try to get up to the net a little. They did this. They're up there together. But again, you've got those 2 big drives by Van Starrenburg and Hanisch. It's not necessarily safe. But I think you're right. I think they need to slow this game down and get into their rhythm. I think they are out of rhythm. And I don't think they like that. I don't think Cruz and Warner like that. I think they like the control. But they are really taking them out of their
15-all
of their comfort zone.
Yeah. You can see the pressure of Hanisch coming into net. Liz Cruz misses the ball, return a serve wide, trying to keep it away from her.
Right. It's not an easy thing to do. It's not a high percentage shot. They got to give them something different. That's just a tough volley hitting them let
30-15.
I think Cruz and Warner should get to the net. Get to the net more and try to take that play away
from them. I agree. And they look like they were.
Right now with Floor Hanisch at net, Annika van Starrenburg with those
but
razor-like ground strokes, they're struggling from the backcourt.
But when you have your partner, when Liz Cruz was at the service line there, Warner should not be driving that ball high. That Liz Cruz is gonna get hit. Got to raise that ball up. Give your partner time to get back to that baseline and start again. There we go. See if they do the pick and stick. Oh, again, they transition seamlessly.
Yeah, Cruz and Warner are just reacting to Hanisch van Starrenburg. Hanisch van Starrenburg are dictating the play.
40-30.
We were talking yesterday about this formation that Van Starrenburg and Hanisch are in, where Van Starrenburg stays in that ad side behind the server. You can set up anywhere you like. Cruz and Warner finding that safe spot right now. They're back up at net.
Yeah, beautiful sequence of lobs
Yes.
by Flo Hanisch out of that deuce side.
Oh, she pushed it.
Ball caught the line. Ball caught the line.
Oh.
Tom Safford.
Okay, an overrule.
Overrule. Umpire's call stands. So deuce. Trying to get the edge on this first game.
Yeah. Well, I like the pace of play in this game much better. From Cruz and Warner.
Right.
Much better. Their games were going too fast in that first set.
Well, I think that was dictated more by Hanisch van Starrenburg.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Ball's long.
Looks like Cruz and Warner didn't like that call by Hanisch and von Starrenburg, but the umpire confirmed the call. There's no overrule. That's a great setup by von Starrenburg.
Yeah, but Cruz and Warner have got to get into the net.
But it's difficult to get into that.
Yeah,
net.
but Warner she hesitated.
Set.
Once that ball crossed the line, went down low, she's got to come in behind it because they're just not getting into the point,
right?
And then getting caught in transition.
In transition, back.
But I mean, Hanisch is just all over the net. She's on top of the net, knowing that van Starrenburg's got her behind, and they're looking to set up van Starrenburg's big ground strokes.
Right. And kudos to von Starrenburg for hitting a low enough ball and a great ground stroke so that her partner doesn't get stuck. I mean, she's doing her job.
Okay, so Cruz and Warner. Cruz is serving. Change of tactic here. They were going to have Warner stay back. Now they've got her up to net.
Serves long.
And it's putting tremendous pressure on the serve to get in behind it to make that first volley.
Right. There's so much going on in these points. There's even a little miscommunication from Cruz and Warner with each other. Not 100% sure what they want to do. See what I'm saying? There's great change of pace by Warner. You notice the lob sequence by Hanisch. One down the line, one cross court, one down the line, one cross court, trying to get Warner and Cruz out of position.
And there you see they got the short ball they were waiting for. They got an overhead on the service line and brought the ball down.
There's Hanisch's famous blitz.
Love 40.
It's not fun to be on the receiving end of that.
Yeah, I just think Cruz and Warner just need to give up the net and on that first volley, then try to get into net during the point.
Develop that point.
$15.40.
Up, down by Cruz. That's a fantastic play. I love that. It all happened very fast, but nice dipper by Hanisch. It pulled Cruz outside of the boundaries of the court. Sets up on Starrenburg's backhand. Wide open middle.
Hanisch Van Starrenburg are on fire. I mean,
they are.
Everything is working for them.
Yes. And I know that feeling when that happens sometimes. Sometimes you feel helpless, but I think Warner and Cruz are smart enough to get themselves back into this match.
Giving up the net, which is a smart play, because otherwise they'd be volleying up.
Right.
And you see Hanisch putting pressure on. Is she going to come in? Is she going to stay back?
Right.
I mean,
right. She hit Hanisch hit a nice lob,
15
thinking
love.
about going in. Decided it wasn't good enough. She didn't get stuck. She went back. Very thoughtful play. Giving Cruz and Warner nothing to work with. No targets. It's a really solid serve by Van Starrenburg. See, Jerry, now what would you do when your partner's coming in blitzing? You've got Hanisch up here. Warner is driving the ball hard at the net person, and it's catching Cruz. She can't get back fast enough. Just don't know if driving that ball is the smartest play. Not at the net player.
okay, Stulik and Estes are up in the second set against Gambino and Burka, 3-1, having won the first set 6-3. See, if they're going to come in, they've got to get that ball deeper, give them more time to get up to net, so they're not caught in a transition.
Right.
But they've got to figure out how to get it past Hanisch. If they hit too much of a floater, Hanisch will be able to pick it off.
Right, and then that's where they're getting stuck in the transition.
It's a dilemma right now.
It is. What would you do?
Let's see, Flora Hanisch giving the signal, where to serve, where she's going to go.
Yes. I think if lead players can figure out how to do that signaling before, I think that's a huge asset to any team.
40-15.
Couple of points here for Hanisch Van Starrenburg to go up for a 3-love lead.
Great
Unbelievable
pick
volley
up
by
volley,
Liz
but
Cruz.
it didn't need to be that good. She should not be hitting well. Got Hanisch stuck there, but she hit a couple hard shots into Hanisch's corner, and Hanisch did not have a problem with it. She's back on offense. Oh,
Now that's
unfortunate.
3-love.
Hanisch Van
Second set,
Starrenburg,
Hanisch Van Starrenburg are in
Second
command.
set.
This is
Sure
the 45-minute mark. I just want to take a moment to thank another one of our sponsors. Uline is the leading distributor of shipping, industrial, and packaging materials to businesses throughout North America. They ship over 2.5 million boxes every day, but they are so much more than a box company. More than 32,000 quality products are always in stock and ready to ship. Outstanding customer service means they're here when you need them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Uline, the best selection, products, and people for an unforgettable customer experience. So, Lisa, it's still going the speed of a freight train here. Hanisch van Starrenburg, I don't see Cruz and Warner making an adjustment. They're just kind of reacting to everything that's happening at them.
Yes. I don't know. I'm a little speechless.
Well, it's a fantastic display of racket skills and athleticism from Hanisch van Starrenburg. And I think it is completely shaken up Cruz and Warner.
Right. Well, Cruz and Warner, as we said before, really do like to develop the points. They want to get into their groove, get into their rhythm, and they're Hanisch van Starrenburg are not allowing them to do that, and I think that's frustrating them. They're trying different formations, they're trying anything they can, and it's just not working.
And they're not used to playing with each other.
No.
Even though they're sisters. I mean, they don't have that solid partnership on court of having the match experience together to how to get out of this. How to slow it down.
Right. But they're even serving fast. Everything's going fast. It's wish they would just talk to each other a little bit. Slow Hanisch and van Starrenburg down a little bit. Anything to get them a little bit more together. It's a frustrated hit right there.
Yeah. And then you're bringing Hanisch back into the net, which is where she really wants to be.
Right, and Hanisch has not struggled with that shot all day.
Second set.
I don't think she's missed one. So it's frustration.
And I like what I see with Hanisch van Starrenburg. They're taking a moment, just make sure their game plan is set, even though they're dominating so far, 6-1 for love.
I feel like Cruz and Warner are just going through the motions. It's not a safe place to hit the ball.
Well, she's out of the service box, so you're exposed and hitting it into van Starrenburg's backhand. That ball is going to come down at your feet.
Right. And fast.
See these nice high deep lobs pulling Cruz and Warner out of the service box, so they're unable to really hit the overheads that they want. And that's the first real wild swing.
She's hit actually 2 of those, but you know what? I think she's feeling it, van Starrenburg, and let's go for this. Let's do this.
I mean, you just don't see Liz Cruz miss a backhand volley. That's just the pressure of what's being put on her.
Correct.
With the shot selection and the pace.
Right.
From Hanisch van Starrenburg.
See if they can try to get in. When there's so many things going on in the court, it's so hard to get back into your formation where you want to be. It's just like Cruz missing that first volley. She's in net, but she's not really set. She's not really sure where van Starrenburg and Hanisch are. So she's looking. She's not looking at the ball.
40-15.
Wow, Lisa, this is some display.
It really is.
It's hitting everything, moving, the transition, shot selection. I mean, you have to hit it hard enough to get it by Hanisch as she's coming up, but not so hard as what happened that it plays up high off the screen and then sets up van Starrenburg, who then catches you in transition as you're coming into net. Yet, if you slow the ball down, Hanisch is going to pick it off.
Right.
Van Starrenburg's going to come into net, so it's like,
what do you do?
Their best shot, I think, is they got to maybe try lobbing. And see what that does. You know, pick some spots. I mean, hit a couple of lobs and move the ball around and see what
if you can
happens
get some
there.
openings.
They definitely have to get to net.
Right.
They definitely have to get.
Just a discouraging volley by Liz Cruz. It's a great third panel screen by Hanisch. Really pulls your opponent out wide.
That was a nice little transition, sneaky volley by Liz Cruz.
Right.
And that's a ball that Hanisch would have driven a year ago. And she was out of position and chose to reset. Smart play. Okay. So Cruz and Warner, when they're at net, and they've got time to place their overheads.
They're in command.
They can't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like these points are going so fast for them that they can't even settle. They can't settle into where they want to be. You said getting some more overheads, working the point. They're playing into what Van Starrenburg and Hanisch want them to. And let's see if they can slow this down, Cruz and Warner. Not a lot of safe spots to hit, though, with
30,
Van
15.
Starrenburg and Hanisch.
Right.
Especially with lobs like that.
They really need to be accurate with their overheads.
Exactly.
Okay, 30-15.
Okay. All right.
Crazier things have happened.
There's hope.
Paddle.
Yes. There is hope.
It's never over, especially Liz Cruz.
Correct.
Talk about in every point till the very end.
Yes, she's very mentally tough.
One of the toughest players out there.
Great. Okay.
40-15.
40-15.
All four players back. And there goes Hanisch on top of the net.
It's a great little shot. Get in fast. I don't know if I like that shot.
It's just too much speed.
Exactly.
You know, they had control of the net.
Right.
Don't hit the overhead that's going to let Van Starrenburg create offense.
Right.
Now they've given up the net. Now they're caught in transition.
40-30.
Right. And again, I think there's a little frustration behind those big rollers. It is frustrating. You want to get a little energy out, but at this point, it's now or never. That's a really nice backhand by Van
40
Starrenburg.
up.
I mean, you can't take away anything in these. I haven't seen many mistakes from Hanisch and Van Starrenburg in this match.
All right, Deuce, 2 points away from the match. Such a great speed of the drive from Van Starrenburg there. She just hit a softer pace ball, and we're at match point. Hanisch and Van Starrenburg showing an execution of placement. They're hitting their shots with a purposefulness, waiting for the right short ball, and then putting the pressure on with their blitzing.
Right.
You can really see they've got a game plan. And she knows she should have let that one go through. Like, I'm not sure I can volley from my shoelaces up. All right, well, there's one match point serve saved.
Advantage Cruz.
There's a point. Game point for Cruz and Warner.
It's the same. Oh, should have let that go, but they're back in business. You know, Hanisch plays some singles paddle, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm
Both-
watching
both-
her. They both do.
Yeah, Hanisch and Van Starrenburg.
Right. So this isn't so out of their realm.
Actually, she is the current champion, singles champion. And
Did she
beat
beat
her
her
partner in the
partner,
finals?
right?
Yes.
Yes.
They are used to covering a lot of
Yeah,
court.
a lot of ground. It's not an easy thing to do. Way to let that go through. Get the scramble. That's a smart play. You get Warner stuck in her the ad side, the side that she doesn't like, and it's a great spot.
Starrenburg.
Okay, we're back to match
we do
point
have-
again.
Sorry, we do have the 2017 national champions. You know, Philadelphia is their favorite place to play. So match
Some good
point
memories.
number 2.
Wow, it's great hands.
Oh, nice rip.
Yeah. Good try though. I like that. I like that placement of lob.
Deuce.
I mean, Miriam Warner did a great job of getting those balls past
Advantage
Hanisch.
Cruz.
Like I said, she's really on top of the net.
Right. It's hard to follow where she's gonna be. You want to get around her so that you have a little time. Oh,
Smart
wow.
volley.
That's a great volley by
Right
Hanisch.
back behind
Deuce.
Warner, who was a couple of steps inside the baseline. So tempting to hit that volley cross court, but that
Right.
was a smart placement.
Match point now. Well,
All right, match point number 3.
yes.
Advantage Van Starrenburg.
Oh.
And there it is. Game, set, match. Hanisch Van Starrenburg.
Wins 6-1, 6-love.
6-1, 6-love on just over an hour, I believe. And
Wow.
Lisa, that was quite the display.
Yeah.
I mean, Hanisch Van Starrenburg did everything well. Their shot selection, their placement, their execution, their strategy, and they really came out and razzle-dazzled Cruz and Warner. I
They
mean,
did.
seriously, they razzle-dazzled us.
Yeah.
We didn't really know that first set. It's
Yeah.
like, wow.
What's happening out here? But it was working. You know, like I said earlier, it's not easy for a team who really wants to settle in, and Hanisch and Van Starrenburg didn't allow them to settle in and really took them out of their comfort zone. And I think kudos to them, kudos to Hanisch and Van Starrenburg for sticking with their plan. They knew what they wanted to do. They did it from the first point, and they kept doing it and executed. Very few mistakes. I think I could count on my one hand how many mistakes that they made in that match. They were very solid, and I think Cruz and Warner just didn't know what to do.
And I'm sure they're a little disappointed right now, Cruz and Warner, but they had a wonderful tournament. I mean, they for playing together for the first time.
They did. And,
you know, they came up against a red-hot team.
Yes.
And it looks like we're waiting for Mark Fischel. He's getting ready for the interview. Going to interview our champions. You can see the umpire, Tom Safford, coming down, so we'll throw it down to Mark for the interview.
Okay, welcome back. I have the winners of the first Grand Prix of the season, Floor Hanisch, Annika Van Starrenburg. Guys, that was really impressive. Floor, tell us a little bit about the one-up, one-back strategy.
We started yesterday a little bit. The sun was bothering us, and that's when we started. And I feel like it really is good for our strengths. It works well. Annika is such a great driver off the deck and off the screens, and I like staying at the net, so I felt like it was good.
Annika, tell us a little bit about the mentality of being in the backcourt and with your partner at the net like that, because it's a completely different way of playing.
Yeah, we feel really comfortable with that. We've just started trying it, and we feel very much more in control of the points. And I like her at the net and me back, and we see how the point goes, but we're very much more in control.
Now, Flora, I know it's difficult to know which balls to reach for and which balls not to. You showed great judgment out there, which is unusual in your family.
Thank you. Yes, I think we were very clear. A couple of people told us, very smart people told us, that one of the dangerous things that formation, you start reaching for a little bit. So to truly trust that your partner is there for you behind and just let it go. And that was one or two that I did a little reaching volleys, but we knew we had a plan and we stuck with the plan. We knew that was the wrong play. Okay, it's fine. Next time we'll do better. And that was great.
Okay, well, congratulations. You guys have really stamped yourselves as the team to beat. And we'll be back at 1:30 with a men's round of 16 match.